Welcome everyone to the Reap Smite League. I am Domcraft and joining me today is Loshak.
Yeah, I mean, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the Big Snake.
You're just a Yorm one trick, let's be
Dude,
honest.
that's what people think, man. That's what people think. But hey, man, large god pools, and that's what I want to see out of these players today: is how big is their god pools?
Yeah, I actually got to face Nachos Supremos because I'm part of Daddy Daycare, so I get to face all these amazing SDL teams. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and speaking of amazing SDL teams, I mean, both of these teams have very prominent players from last year's or last season's SDL. I mean, with Novel on the order side and Chaos having Narcos.
yeah, very talented players and just easily can just carry a game
hmm
and just look very good.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, I mean, both of us are solo laners. You have to play against these solo laners. I mean, off the name alone, who do you think's got it?
White guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how Y Guy and Nitro go. I don't really know Nitro as a solo laner. I know him more as a mid or a jungle. So we're going right into P's and B's, however, with but yeah, Dom, you just talk about the P's and B's, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to see the first classic bands of like a few patches ago, with the Gilgamesh going to be banned out, Persephone, Artemis, and RDO. How do you feel about this RDO ban?
I mean, it's a smart idea. Already is super easy to play. I mean, not a lot of players know how to play her properly. They're just like, oh yeah, she can heal, and like I can stun every now and again, but they don't really know the proper rotations. But maybe it's a targeted ban.
Yeah, we did see last time that Nitro Glycerin did play RDO and looked absolutely phenomenal on it.
hmm Yeah, I mean, the interesting ban to me though is the Gilgamesh. You don't really see a lot of Gilgamesh being banned out lately, as he has been nerfed repeatedly over and over and over again.
I think he's kind of competing with King Arthur for the most nerfs ever.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, Gilgamesh is just bust. I mean, he's still a really good jungler. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that drop kick is ridiculous, and that Erlang Shin and Erlang pick is also a super good pick. But I don't know about first picking it.
I know Vibe really loves this pick. Uh, yeah, they're hovering the Odin. They know exactly what they want. This most likely going to White Guy. He plays a lot of Odin. I'm pretty sure he loves it. And you see this Osiris here going over to Narcos too.
Ooh, that I mean, you never know. There, some people do play Odin jungle. I mean, it's still, it plays similarly to an Osiris, being this more set up kind of god in the late game. Osiris being a little bit more of an early game jungler, however.
Yeah, and more on that note, just this combo alone is just extremely good with the anti-heal being just out of the roof. And we're going to
Mhm.
see here a Nuwa hover. That's
Ooh.
something we don't see every day.
I hope it's not a new Wa. No, Novel is a super good mid laner, but new Wa into an Odin and an Osiris.
Oh,
Oh,
this is just disrespect here. That,
oh,
that's
that
that's what it means.
100%. I mean, new Wa goes up, you can Odin cage wherever she comes back down. Oh, she can't get away from Osiris because that tether. This is pure cockiness.
Yeah, there's no way that that Nacho Supremos don't win the mid lane. They
hmm
It's just like when you pick Nuwa, you're just expecting to press 4 on cooldown.
hmm Yeah, more than likely. I mean, she does have great utility though into that late game to where you can do it pre-fight and then chunk everybody down. The backliners 25% health, the frontliners 15% health, give or take, if not more.
Yeah, but the Scylla now is going to be picked up. I think Scylla was the better pick.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Scylla for the AFK farmers might have even been the pick to make sure that Osiris cannot get to her.
Yeah, I feel like Nacho Supremos is getting exactly what they want, and AFK Farmers, I think these might be comfort picks.
Maybe. I mean, I did play against Novel last season. I saw a lot of Vulcan and Kulane or Kook, as I like. Not any new ones, however. I don't know exactly what the thought process there is. There.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird to go onto this new but now we're going to see Nacho Supremos target out the soul lane with that Cerberus. Don't want at all the Cerberus in the game just to steal any of that healing. And Cupid also going to be looked at here. And this is a 100% a targeted ban because I know 100% that the end of days plays a lot of Cupid.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
I
might want to see the AFK farmers ban out an Izanami if they're not going to pick it up.
but
What is that? Dang
instead
it. What is that?
Instead, it is the Hachiman.
Ah, yeah.
I will leave
You really
standing
don't
no
ever see a
value to
Hachimon ever
our
getting banned out.
success.
Yeah, that's one of the more rare occasions, and you're going to see this Ganesh here going to be locked in as the support. G-
Yeah,
What's your opinions on him?
this is just Cat D10 or Cat 4200. Actually, I don't. I'm assuming this is the same
4200.
cat. It might be a different cat, but the cat that I know plays a lot of backline heavy gods. You know, protect the president kind of
Um,
deal. Hey, big
I,
snake energy. I respect it. Big snake energy.
yeah, it looks like Nitroglycerin wanting to follow the steps of Loshak and go into that Jormungandr.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it
I am the
Odin loses
chauvinist of
to
sorrow.
Jormungandr, but the Jormungandr after the nerfs. So I see if Nacho Supremos is able to switch up their playstyle if they were gonna put that Odin the Soul in and put it into the jungle.
Look into my eyes.
Personally, this is what I want to see, but I know it's not going to happen because no one will ever do this except out if it's a game not for placement. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see Odin in the support role. I want to see still
Okay.
the Osiris in jungle, but I want to see
No.
Ganesha in the solo lane.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Ganesh solo is happens. In tier two Bancrofts, I mean, with Ganesh one, you clear super fast in terms of the weapon. His buff clear is a little weaker, but just buying hog, you should be able to mitigate that. But yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. It is possible, but unlikely.
Yeah, and the looking at these picks here, I'm not sure who I favor right now. Who do you favor this?
I favor Nacho Supremos just off of them not having a new one. I got to be honest. That new pick throws me off super hard. Like, yeah, she has a great team fight ult, but like, she has a couple stuns, but I just don't think it's gonna work out cohesively with the rest of their draft.
Yeah, but also one thing to mention, I remember during an SDL prospect games, White Guy was also faced with this lane matchup once more, but instead of it being Nitroglycerin, it was
Mhm.
Kid Who Sucks, and he lost lane.
Yeah, I
So
mean, Y guy has fought this before as he played against me on if it is this Odin, he has done it against me a handful of times. So I mean, he should know this matchup if he picks up the Odin. He should know exactly what to do. And it looks like we're going to go straight into the game to see who's in that solo lane.
the question that everyone wants to know, and it is going to be the matchup we do suspect, it is the Jormungandr versus the White Guy versus the Odin.
Yeah,
Eh,
Y guy is Odin, so you're not wrong.
now, something to mention here. We don't see this a lot, but we see a gilded arrow on Jormungandr.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a lot of gold. The basic attack's great, but what is that going to do to an Odin shield? Okay, you burst them down a little bit faster. I, I just don't think it's a very smart idea. I get the idea. It gives you gold. It gives you haha funny, more basic attack damage, but I would rather have a Vamp Shroud for that extra power that it would give anyway.
Yeah, I personally do side with you on this and all, but I really want to see White Guy be able to do a lot more as he's taken a lot of poke in this first few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't recognize this. Jormungandr did buy a tier 1, more than likely mystical mail, so that probably threw him off whenever he got hit with a 1 and a 2. As Jormungandr also went TP, so if Y guy gets behind, it's gonna be really rough.
Yeah, TP. I call it the cringe relic in solo.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just the baby relic. I mean it's a don't get me wrong, it's a very viable option if you want to play safe, if you're worried about your matchup, or if you want to push your lead. But I mean, there's no risk in buying TP.
Yeah, and as we look now, as all the other lanes are kind of being a little bit neutral right now, but besides this solo, and it looks like
Mhm.
Nitro Glycerin is just wanting to just be fully just constant pressure.
Yeah, I was wondering. He must have tried to go to the back camps, but that timer being a little bit off probably dissuaded him. But I mean, if you look, he is up on the Odin by what, almost 100 gold already.
Yeah, I think this is those two players are kind of just going to be the notable one, like the ones that would be talked that can be words. I feel like this matchup is like one of the more exciting matchups of solo because it gets really aggressive. But moving on from that, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this duo lane?
I mean, the Fafnir Izanami lane is very um, solid. You know, it's something that you're not really ever gonna be like, oh, I don't want this, because Fafnir with that attack speed stem, he's probably gonna pick up a Shogun's. Izanami's probably gonna pick up a Silver Branch. So always gonna have the stacks up whether he uses his one or not.
And we saw Scylla try to go for an invade. Novel not doesn't have a lot of mana left to be able to do anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect too much out of this mid lane fight here. It's an Osiris and an Erlang. If Erlang dashes at the Scylla, it's just going to dash away. If Osiris does it, I mean, Nuwa's not going to step out of tower too far.
Yeah. And if there isn't a fight in the next few seconds around this harpy, which there now is, and Novel's going to take a lot of poke here, and that is going to be first blood over to Nachos Supremos.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I mentioned not stepping out of the tower. I guess he didn't get the memo. I
Oh,
mean, you got a tower set.
I completely forgot. This is Zelda playing Scylla.
I sadly do not have the information to play back with you on that one. You know, I don't know who Zelda is. I apologize to Zelda. I assume you're a good Scylla player.
Yeah, yeah, I actually got to play with him in some prospect games. Him and Nitro Glycerin were both on my team,
Hmm.
and we kind of just we played very well together.
Yeah, I mean, you know, cohesion, but I mean, both of these players are on separate teams. Something we kind of blew past is that the Medusa on Nacho Supremos is just going a normal start. I mean, sometimes you see the power start coming out of the Medusa.
Yeah, but hold on for that for just a second, as the beads are going to be used off of Izanami, and they're just going to peel off for just a bit right now.
Yeah. Something interesting to note is that Jormungandr just walked back to lane, did not TP, really not getting the full worth out of his TP. I don't know if he missed I guess he didn't miss a minion wave, so no real reason to do so. But for me, I would have wanted to see him try to push it, push his advantage where he has it.
Yeah, but also something else to note for this game um is that instead of Sentinel's gift, the support is going benevolence.
Yeah, I mean that's an item that you don't really see, and I think it's getting a partial rework on Tuesday. So I'd be interested to see why he exactly picked this item up. Whenever it's going to be changing anyway, he's going to get behind on gold and XP, or not gold on XP. Sorry. So I don't quite understand why he did so. But he does already have a Gauntlet of Thebes. He just needs to start stacking it.
Yeah, both supports have gone with Thebes and have rotated out now. Maybe not Cat, but look under the solo lane as Nocturnal is going to be caught out here, and this is also going to be the end of Narcos.
I mean, it's unfortunate that you died, but he does have TP, so he's going to be back in that lane in 10 seconds flat. So he doesn't really lose a lot. He probably doesn't even lose this entire wave, and he gets a kill. So I don't think that was very net positive on the Nacho Supreme side.
Yeah, definitely favoring AFK farmers here, but I feel like that in the early game, this solo lane is going to have a lot of pressure under the Odin because I think that if you play Yorm, you have to be very good at it. And
Hmm.
but hold on, Ness, we're going to look at this buff invade as the taunt does come out of Vibe and so much coming out. Scylla uses the crush, and I'm a monster barely misses, and that is the end of Vibe Legion.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say good on Narcos for not alting that, but he did not have alt. But I mean, still, yeah, I don't know why Vibe Legion was up there. It didn't look like he had very much ward coverage besides on that right hand side. And Ganesh just walked up behind him and said, "Sorry, buddy, you don't get to go anywhere."
Yeah. So I know I'm noting a lot about builds right now, but I feel like we can for a bit before everything gets too hectic. We're
Mhm.
seeing from both junglers right now, tier 1 H evolve.
Yeah, I mean, these are both attack speed gods. Jormungandr getting aggressive and looks like he picked up that blue buff.
And he uses the ult for safety.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
hey,
I
get on him. Get on him for that.
yeah,
And,
this is kind of what I was saying as like Jormungandr is going to be bullying because if you play Yorm, you have to be really good at him, or you're going to
right.
just not pick him at all.
Right, exactly. I mean, but I would have rather seen that Yorm probably fight into that Osiris, and then if he got into trouble to alt out. As Odin Cage doesn't really do very much to Jormungandr, he can just walk out after just bursting it down, as it's just with auto attack hits rather than health. And I don't know what he's doing up here now. I have no excuses for him.
Yeah, yeah, not Nitro is going to be caught out here, going to be stunned, and that is going to be the end of Nitroglycerin.
Yeah, it looked like he was gonna go for buff invades. Once again, did not have very much ward coverage, so just got caught out immediately. He's only placed a single ward. Guy, you get free vision shards. Place him down.
Yeah, it looks like that vision shard is up, so he can place it whenever he wants to.
Right. If you want to look for these buff invades, try to get a ward up there. Try to catch him on rotation. If you see somebody in the opposite jungler in the left hand side, that's whenever you go. Not whenever you know he just backed.
Yeah, most of the time when they do just back, their blue might have been spun or game ready to spun. I see the idea behind it. It's just a little bit weird.
Yeah, we were talking about build pass, and this Jormungandr goes into a was it a breastplate of valor? That's not really an item that you see on a lot of Jormungandrs if you go into that mystical mail route. But if you don't, then you will see a breastplate of valor. It does give some cooldown. I prefer a Pridwin in that slot instead if you're going to want that cooldown, as it gives you prot of each. So this Scylla could just blow him up immediately. He has no prot for her.
Yeah, and right now is we're going to see Nitro going to go back into
Oh,
and he does not at all get
uh,
it.
yeah, that Jormungandr art a little. And I'm just harping on Jormungandr. I play Jormungandr. I'm sorry to Nitro, but that Jormungandr art probably not needed. Yeah, you do have a Ganesh there, but the idea of the Jormungandr, if you need it, that Jormungandr is full health. He didn't need to get out. Um, so I mean, just looking towards these alts in the future, I want to see Narcos go back to Jormungandr.
Yeah, there's no way. And hold on for that a second. As Vibe Legion going to get the ton and it's successful, and we're going to see a transformation come out into the dragon form. And this is going to be the most likely the end of Cat here. It drops the draconic pillars. I'm a monster has come out, and so is going to be forced to back out.
100%. Looks like they're not done though in mid lane. Ooh, yeah, novel worm falling there. I mean, everybody went to the Gold Fury, but it looks like the Nuwa didn't get the idea. Notch, Nacho Supremos takes it out or takes the Gold Fury.
Yeah, that's you kind of is that worth or
Um, for who exactly? I don't know if there was any net loss on Nachos Supremos. They didn't lose anybody, and they get the Gold Fury. So no, I get. Oh, what they lost Ganesh. Um, yeah, 100%.
yeah. Well, well, I think now it's going to be. I feel like for AFK farmers, they kind of have to play off of Nitro a bit because he's the only one that has a kill besides Novel, which is
Hmm.
kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, playing out of your Jormungandr or Soul Inner as a whole is fine, but that means he needs to rotate out, and this is what I wanted to see: is them getting on this Jormungandr, making him use his ult. I wish I saw it a little earlier before he got his ult back, but they did get the Gold Fury and a pick on the Nuwa, so I mean, hey, worth it. You just immediately return back over here to Soul Lane and bully him out.
Yeah, this is the point where if you're going to target anyone, you're going to target Jormungandr or Izanami because they're kind of your win conditions of the game. This
Right.
Jormungandr is being
Mhm.
is kind of bullying out, but right now you're seeing that it is a even right now in the XP department for solo lane.
Right. I mean, I doubt there will be even a big disparity as Gilded Arrow only gives you a gold difference. But
Yeah,
I mean, he does have two physical prod items, so I don't think Odin can kill him. I would like to see maybe a Ganesh rotation over or a Scylla rotation over to deal with the Jormungandr while he has no ultimate.
yeah, I love the great use of the Odin stun there to just cancel out his ability and make him take extra poke for longer too.
Something about the build though is that Jormungandr is either going to an ethereal staff or was it a Spear of Desolation? Um,
No, Gemma focus, I believe.
Gem of
It's the slow. It's
Yeah,
the
the slow
slow
one.
one.
Yeah, the one that slows. But Jormungandr already slows with his one. I don't know if that stacks or if the Gem of
It
Isolation
does.
uh, uh, nerfs it out, as I know the stacking of slows have changed recently.
Uh, Last time I remember, it still does because I remember facing a Jormungandr that went that first item.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out if that's what it is instead of an ethereal staff. But he needs to get magical defense on before that Scylla starts seeing him.
Yeah, and definitely because like this Scylla practically has an execute on her.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean,
Yeah, this Odin needs some help. This is a good rotation over. Jormungandr doesn't have an ult. He can't get out. Um,
ooh, and
should,
I'm a monster barely misses, and that is going to be the end of Nitro.
yeah, unfortunate that I'm a monster was used for that, as Scylla didn't really do anything but just say, "Hey, give me that assist gold, please." Um, but I mean, that was still a great rotation from Narcos as he overextended or as Nitro overextended over there in the solo lane side with no ward coverage to speak of. Once again, he needs to get wards out.
Yes. He's at the bottom. Both solo laners right now are at the bottom of ward charts.
Yeah, I mean
Y-
that's something that just can't be happening, especially for Nitro. He knows that Narcos has gone over to him repeatedly. You would think by now you'd be like, okay, maybe I should ward.
Yeah, he needs to get those words out. He needs that vision, and he needs to be able to get everything online.
Yeah, I mean he has 20% cooldown, so working around your ult is a big thing. That is your initiate and that is your disengage. So I mean you need to figure out what you're doing with it. And here we have a new all just alting just for damage. You know, you can respect it. It can also be for vision.
Vision. I personally do like it more for vision, but it's still weird as they're going to try to go for this Pyromancer and Nachos Supremos with the great steal, and this might be the end of Vibe Legion, and it will be.
Yeah, I mean, good effort on that. Hopefully, you don't lose more members off of that. It looks like they're gonna go in
Oh,
though.
this
Questionably,
is a
maybe
risky play.
yeah, maybe the Fafnir wanted to go in, and the Jormungandr was like, "Nah, dude, we ain't doing this."
Yeah, Jormungandr can't really go in right now. He is not tanky for the Scylla, and that Scylla is just going to be shredding him.
100%. I mean, and that once again to harp back on his build path, that's because he hasn't built magical prot yet. It's just an easy buy. You know, you buy Genjis or even a Shoguns if you want to get fancy with it, or an Oni Guard. I mean, just buy something that will protect you. E-Staff is what he selected instead of the slow item, whatever desolation or isolation it is. So he does have some crowd control reduction. It does give him some health, but that health doesn't matter if you get hit for 400 from a Scylla Crush.
Yeah, and I want to poke at this for just a second. Can we talk about how this Izanami has crit, and I see no Spectrals on the side of Nachos Supremos?
Yeah, I mean, she did recently get crit. Izanami has not rotated out yet, so I mean, more than likely these guys just haven't even looked at their the item, or they haven't tabbed over, didn't click select whatever platform they're on, so they probably just don't even know. I expect to see a spectral out of Ganesh, maybe not the Odin.
It does more damage if the Odin has it, but we're going to see Vibe Legion take a lot of damage here, and it's going to be blown up. I'm a Monster did not connect and almost fully missed, but Vibe will still fall.
Yeah, and a Ganesh alt use. So three was it two ultimates kind of for nothing. I mean, they none of them connected on it. Erling was already dead whenever Ganesh used it.
Yeah, and they're going, and he's trying to go in for a Gold Fury steal here. Is he going to be successful? And he's just getting obliterated right now. Jumps out of the Odin cage almost with, with his life gone.
Yeah, I mean, he got Odin Cage out, and it looks like he got the Osiris alt out. So one for two, sorry, but they did pick up the Gold Fury. Sadly, he wasn't able to deter him off of it. But I mean, maybe they should look around playing around the Odin and Osiris not having the alt, especially Osiris not having his getaway.
Yeah, I want to see Vibe come over to the Soul Lane if they still go back, if this Odin goes back to Soul Lane and just try to kill this Odin. Because he is 2-0 right now.
Yeah, he's very tanky, but Jormungandr picked up that horrific emblem to try to chase down these backliners or maybe even the frontliners in Osiris.
Yeah, this I kind of, and we see no heavenly agility off of the other support either, which is kind of just the counter to horrific emblem right now.
Yeah, they're probably not really worried about it as the Medusa does have a dash to try to get away and an alt, which makes her CC immune, so that is a cleanse. The only people that don't is the Odin and the Osiris in terms of the cleanse. I guess the Ganesh does too, but who's just cursed? Not cursed on. Gosh, horrific impling the Ganesh.
Yeah, that's kind of a waste if you're just doing it for him. But I kind of feel like Nacho Supremos have not taken a look at their tap screen at all.
Yeah, and more than likely not. But it looks like this Izanami's going to go into a dominance in that item right next to his rage.
Yeah, I personally like dominance there. I feel like it's very good and it does well, but hold on for that just a second. As we're going to see over here in this left-hand side a little bit of a skirmish, Medusa will ult here and and he is going straight in, crush no good here. And Oboe just shredding as Oboe always does.
Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts here.
Yeah, and Ganesh is going just to initiate here, and I'm a monster connects onto 5, and that is a double kill for Zelda. And they're going to keep on pushing on here as they're going to try to come after this poor Fafnir, and that it will be the end of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the Jormungandr went to. I don't know why he wasn't in that fight. But oh my goodness, just blowing up that Ganesh. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
oh no.
Nope.
Oh no. Okay, there. You're going the right direction now.
I don't know where he's going.
Wait.
Scylla's over there, buddy. You don't want to go mess with her.
You only have tier 1 defense, but they're going to go straight onto him, and that is going to be the end of the novel. Last person left is Nitro, and this might be a deicide, and this is a delayed deicide.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this was just a massive misplay from Nitro. He was nowhere to be seen in that team fight, which allowed the Odin to turn around. Was Odin even in that? It doesn't even matter. The Ganesh and the Scylla actually were effective in their ults. Ganesh using his ult to zone away the people and kind of corralled them for that Scylla ultimate. And to get a double kill off of it is huge.
Yeah, Zelda's having the game of his life with now being 5-0 right now.
That's a scary sight, especially considering that I think he can just almost one-shot Gunny into a 1 and a 2. Gunny's got to be careful around the Scylla.
Yeah, and like they said in a few sets ago that with Izanami, her dash is kind of the most transparent dash out of all the hunters.
Oh
It's
yeah,
easy to predict.
100%. Until she's able to get her bearings, see where she went, and then to move around. But where she looks is where she goes. There's no getting around that. This new walk could be caught out, but if oh, it looks like
And
there's
boom,
is.
Erlang is just going to use that taunt here, and the Izanami is going to use her taunt, well, not taunt, ultimate, as Odin's going to try to get in there, but we see this Jormungandr around the backside getting to be collapsed on and just trying to run for his life. It's great peel from this Ganesha.
Yeah, 100%. What I was going to bring up ahead of time is that this Fafnir is only level 12, and I think that's strictly because of benevolence.
Yeah, definitely because of benevolence is not going to be good for him at all. And Nitro over here hovering around this fire giant as Nachos Supremos are pulling the fire giant, now coming off, looking for a fight here. Is Y guy going to go straight in? Silence is great here. And this might be the end of a few players here as we see Vibe Legion actually get taken out by Zelda. He was all alone as I'm a Monster take 2 is going to be happening, and that is going to be the end of Nitroglycerin. As Medusa will use her ult, now it's going to be the retreat here as Gunny going to go in, manpower it through, and kill this Ganesha.
Gunny still has beads. I would have rather seen him to try to push and try to get another kill. This still having crush makes it very dangerous to try to go for this fire giant.
Bro, Gunny's critting so much. What the crap? Why can't I get this crit chance?
Oh yeah, I mean, crit chance is just, I mean, it's a chance, Gunny, I mean, he's looking good on this. He does only have 1 stack of rage. So I don't know exactly how he's planning on stacking this if he's not going to be more aggressive, as they already pulled off Fire Giant.
I feel like they might have a chance. They might had a chance to do Fire Giant. It's just they needed a little bit more health. But Gunny is now going to be caught out here. He's going to ult right on top of himself, getting nobody. And this might be the end of Gunny as he is being chased down, and Y guy is going to just come in and get that clean.
Yeah, a little bit of an unnecessary Odinal. I get the idea. However, it did wall off the Jormungandr, so they weren't able to go on the Scylla, but it looks like Nitro didn't figure out he should give it up.
Nitro, come on. Nitro, no, why? Mamatsu is not good at all, and it's forced Jormungandr to just run, and he is running for his life. And the stun, it does connect good. And this might be the end of this Jormungandr. The tale of the 1-6 Jormungandr.
Yeah, I mean, his positioning was kind of weird. He's going in too aggressively, and that's really hurting AFKFarmers. It's hard to play with 1 man down, but now they're 2 men down. This could just be a free fire giant for Nachos Supremos.
AFKFarmers, I want to see. This is what I want to see out of AFKFarmers. I want to see Nitro position way better than what he has. And then to go straight in and horrific, and then follow up by his jungler. And just like focus down the Scylla, focus down Days, and just to try to get a kill.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, they're back off of this fire giant. It's dangerous to. I mean, the longer their wait, the more likely it is for Jormungandr to come back up. And Odin Cage, kind of
Odin.
useful.
Not really. That was kind of more just wasted there. I get the idea. You don't really know his jumps down, but still.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Jormungandr's back up, so Nachos Supremos wasted too much time. They have the Bracer of Radiance down. You need to do something, but they just waited around. They did the Fire Giant dance for too long. And if all these members back, this should just be a Fire Giant. They should be going to Fire Giant immediately for the AFK farmers, or at least Pyromancer.
And it looks like they're going to settle with a Pyromancer right now.
I mean, hey, I mean, one objective's better than no objectives. AFK farmers are down at almost, well, but now they're down. I don't know, math on cast, not never good. 6K down. I mean, that's not terrible. 26 minutes in, that's a couple items or finished items, maybe a couple finished starters on the side of Nachos Supremos that AFK farmers don't have. But I mean, what are you really looking for? And Obsidian, not what is it? Obsidian arrow out of a Jormungandr to be finished?
Diamond Arrow.
Diamond arrow, yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to go straight onto this nuanced Jormungandr. Now, Jormungandr's in the should be, but this Odin's doing so much, and this Izanami being able to just peel for herself with this crit chance being so high as Jormungandr still in that backline, really tanky, and his ultimate, the World Serpent is going to be used here, as Y Guy will be the first one to fall, and now Cat is now out of this game too. And Jormungandr still in the back, going in for this Osiris. He wants this kill. He wants that revenge. I'm a monster going to be used, and that is the end of Nitroglycerin.
You know what? I'll say that's worth it. He was able to pull Vasilla away from the Fire Giant to allow them to do this, but we had End of Days. He got the Gold Fury. He took Tier 2 Tower. This is what End of Days is known for. He doesn't like to team fight for some reason. He just likes to split push. And, I mean, he's successful with it. He gets a Phoenix on the left-hand side, which is the farthest Phoenix from the Fire Giant, but they lost Fire Giant for it. I don't know if that's worth. I mean, I guess if you're going to split push, you might as well do it then, I guess.
Yeah, I say for this game, you want to see a lot of End of Days here, and just the backliners in general, because look at the Scylla, 7-0-6. And look at the Nuwa, 1-3-3. You can see who's having the better game right now.
Right, yeah. So they should be trying to play with the Scylla instead of split pushing and letting your team die and the other team get Fire Giant. They're able to come back into this game, decrease that gold lead, allow them to hopefully group up and push some towers. While, cool, you split push the Phoenix, but you don't even have minions in your favor.
Yeah, but you do have a tier 1 tower in your favor.
No, that's still not good. That was a terribly misplayed portion from End of Days. I have to assume that they figured that they were going to keep doing the Fire Giant dance, as that's what they were doing previously for like 2 minutes. So, I mean, that's the only excuse I have for them, maybe.
Yeah, and looks like they're going to push up this right-hand side, but they just realized that they took the tier 1 tower, and now they're going straight back for a Phoenix defense. No way that they defend tier 2.
No, I think this is the correct move from AFK farmers. Try to get the Phoenix, try to equal out the minions that End of Days split push for and lost a team fight for.
Yeah,
not if
have the
Nitro's
fire
gonna do this.
minions.
Not if he's gonna just die. Where's he going? Where's that man going? Yeah, there you go. Come on back.
Where's that snake?
Yeah. That was extremely
he's
bad for
teleporting.
Nitro. Oh, okay.
he teleported.
Try to get the split push away from your tier 2 tower in right-hand side. You now know the Osiris is in right, the Scylla's in left. This should just be an easy tower call.
Yeah, now with this Osiris back, you now have 3 people. It's a 3v4 here in this right-hand tower, as the ultimate is going to be burned, as the Draconic Pillars is also going to be used here.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget everything I'm saying. You gotta hit the tower, guy. Who cares about their lives? It's a Ganesh. Leave him alone. Just hit the tower. He's got spectral armor now. You're not going to kill him anytime soon. You need to get the tower.
Hold left.
Yeah, I mean that left brain, you know what I'm saying? So, so I mean, this is great tower defense from the Nacho Supremos because AFK farmers are misplaying it horribly.
Yeah, and going into this Nitro build here, he decided to sell that gilded arrow and pick up a void stone. Void, is
Yeah,
it stone or shield?
stone. It's void stone. I mean, like, I get it. What's the point of having the obsidian shard or not obsidian shard? The
Diamond
ornate
arrow.
arrow, diamond arrow. Who cares? You're a Jormungandr. Stop buying this item. It's a haha funny item. Fine OK does it, but you're not fine OK. Just pick up the Vamp Shroud. You now have no starter. You have no extra sustain. And as we've seen previously, Nitro plays super aggressive. He and he doesn't have any sustain to pick it back up.
I mean, he has ether sap, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a lot of health. I think every single one of those items gives health except for Witchblade. I think Witchblade
No, it
actually gives
does. It does.
it does. So I mean, you know, he's got bulwark. So I mean, he's going to be able to use that effectively as well as ethereal staff. I don't know if we can look at wards, but this is just a free wards from the Nacho Supremos because everybody's on left.
Yeah, and by the way, one of the items does not give health, and that is actually Breastplate of Valor.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, Breastplate does
sure.
not give any health.
Weird. I mean, it does give a lot of physical protections and some cooldown. So I mean, it's still a good item, still solid. But once again, more misplays from AFK farmers. They Nacho Supremos got the oracles, so they knew exactly where they were. They were able to take tier 2 and right, and probably just this Phoenix. I'd like to see them maybe even push for the mid Phoenix, as they still have 2 members and left.
Yeah, and they have the Scylla for defense here. As we see here that this dragon is just not being able to be with his team a bit, and that's
Yeah.
kind of his best point.
Yeah, he backed ahead of time. I mean, he had the idea of, hey, I got to get back there. He's also the one that places the most wards. I mean, right now it looks like Zeptar is trying to play this the best of his ability, but the rest of his team they just aren't picking it up. They need to. I don't know who's shot calling, but they need to do it better. That I mean, you have
Uh,
a new wall for vision. I don't want to see Novel keep spamming this if it's not for vision.
Yeah, and we're going to see this Ganesha going just go straight in, and Vipletion's now going to be killed.
Yeah, I mean those were 3 alts expended, but I would probably say that's worth it due to this being a EFG. You're down a man. As long as you don't do a fire giant dance for 5 ever, you should be fine.
Yeah, you want to take this EFG because you're 1 man up, but you're kind of a few man down. I say you can wait a few seconds, but you want to be up here. You want those, and you have the best secure in this game right now, the
Oh,
Scylla.
100%. You got crush. I mean, that's just a lot of damage. You don't even need I'm a monster. You can crush steal it if you really wanted to. But I mean, we talked no shot that Zeptar
No,
still has not
oh,
bought another relic. Zeptar, buddy, come on, guy. You're level 17. This is when you upgrade your items. Sometimes your starter, if you have a little bit of extra gold and gonna be dancing around Fire Giant.
relics don't even cost.
Yeah, relics are free. Relics are free. Just pick it up.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to get straight into the fray, right into the fight at the Fire Giant, as Nuon is going to ult, and questionable Aegis, but the ultimate is good. But that was so close from Novel actually winning that fight, and still not still. This fight is just so chaotic right now.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you see AFK Farmers split up, and they're still split up. Jormungandr's still trying to go in. Dude, you're fighting a 3v1 right now. You better calm down. Picking up that Osiris is not worth dying over.
Yeah, especially since you have Days, which even though he doesn't have crit, he's still he's still putting off a lot of damage off of just the 3 hits of his one.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that one is so detrimental. Um, Nitro, where you going, buddy? That's the other side of the map. You got a bag. Dace just took your tier 2 tower for free.
I kind of want to see Nitro to be on a little page with this team.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really doing that right now.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's not doing much of anything, but I mean, as we saw with Zeptar and Nitro, they dove the Fire Giant pit. That's fine. But everybody got off of it. You're not going to steal a 75% health Fire Giant with a Fafnir and a Jormungandr. That's just not going to happen. I
What do
would
you
have
mean?
liked
That
to see
always
them.
happened in my ranked
Oh,
games.
yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, but you saw the rest of Nacho Supremos peel off of that Fire Giant and dive AFK Farmers backline for free. Both of the tanks are up messing with a Ganesh. Who cares? Nacho Supremos are playing to their strengths. They're playing as a team. They're looking phenomenal right now. And like you mentioned, we need to see more communication from AFK Farmers.
Yeah, and thank you, Rosie, for pointing out towards us this Archmage's gem.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage out of the new alt. It did get nerfed. I want to believe because of new alt. She's ridiculous. Um, does have that Cronus Pendant, does have the Soul Gem and the Rod at the Hootie. I mean, that's a lot of damage mid team fight, but he's
And
just spamming that.
Obsidian
When they're
Shard,
full health,
too.
whenever they're in Fountain, I need to see it a little bit more strategically, either for vision or during the team fight to try to chunk those frontliners.
I feel like in the beginning it was for Vision, and now he's just doing it for being top player damage. As we're going to see here, is Odin Cage just going to zone out, and Fire Giant goes over to Nacho Supremos with Narcos falling here to their Gunny, and they're just diving so hard, and this is going to be Zeptar's fall as we see Nitro chasing him, just one-siding somebody as Cat now out of the game. And Nitro's now all alone here. 1v2, 1v3 with the Scylla coming in. Now turning into a 1v2.
Yeah, these guys have enhanced Fire Giant. I don't know if you go back in as Narcos, as Gunny's got the memo. Hey, I'm at what 45% health. I'm not killing nobody.
Yeah, and Vibe is just trying to run for his dear life right now.
Yeah, I mean 100%. That should have been the game plan anyway. He should not have gone back in. If Jormungandr's going to die, he's going to die. He can go invisible. He shouldn't have turned around. He could have just ran away. So I mean, this should be an easy tier or Phoenix for Nacho Supremos. Once again, Alpha, great play and communication.
Yeah, holy crap. Vibe is taking so much damage, and the juke juice is not enough. I'm a monster going to be using misses as we're just seeing one sole survivor left. And there goes Zelda. Can this be game?
Maybe we do have Nitro coming back up, and this Fafnir needs to get back into his Phoenix, or not his Phoenix, his Fountain for it to not be game.
And he does actually get in. Barely.
Yeah, hopefully, or not hopefully, this should just be a Phoenix wipe unless they're able to get a pick on AFK Farmers.
Yeah. If they can kill Nitro one more time, they win. I don't want to say that, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's high possibility.
yeah, this is the correct call from the Nacho Supremos, in my opinion. You know, you knock down these Phoenixes. We've seen from the AFK Farmers that they're not really paying too much attention to the map, and these guys could realistically go in. They're still, it's 3-5. All the Phoenixes are down. This thing is not tanky at all.
Yeah, and they're going to go straight in, so they're going to be pushing the damage on White Guy going to get the kill onto Novel, and that is game right there. Your game one winners is Nacho Supremos.
Yeah, I mean, just some miscommunication from AFK Farmers. Nacho Supremos playing to that discourse that they're having. I mean, they played phenomenally, having the ideas that they had. You see somebody on the left, let's go right, and vice versa.
Yeah, I feel like if we want to see it go to at least a game 3, we got to see AFK Farmers dial in that comms, dial in their target selections, and keep Nitro under control.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Nitro had a decent early game, only getting picked out a couple times, but that late game, we need to see him maybe on somebody less aggressive, maybe even somebody less safe, as that was giving him a bit of a false confidence of what he can get in and get out.
Yeah, and just Zelda and End of Days having the game of their life with 1 or 0 deaths.
Yeah, I mean Zelda and End of Days, like you mentioned. Yeah, I mean, we saw End of Days just split pushing, and I still think it's a misplay, but he still put out a lot of damage while he was in those team fights.
There's just like Zelda. I say Zelda is one of the is just a great solo player in my opinion. I've
Hmm.
seen him play solo. I've seen him play a bunch of different stuff. I know a few picks that he likes, and he's just a good mid player all and around.
Yeah, 100%. You got to ban that away from him. I think that's really all you should ban away. Like I mentioned before, get Nitro a little bit back into the game, get his head right, and you should be able to win the next one.
And we will go to a short little intermission as we will get ready for game. Welcome back, Reap fans, as we're going into a game number 2 here. AFKFarmers for Nachos Supremos with Nachos Supremos in the lead 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great play from Nacho Supremos, taking advantage of AFK's farmers' mishaps and miscommunications.
Yeah, what's some things you want to see differently about just draft alone?
Ban the Scylla, or either ban the Scylla or take the Scylla away from Nacho Supremos. I mean, Zelda looked great on it. Did miss a fair amount of ults, but it doesn't matter whenever you pretty much have another one in that crush.
Yeah, and we're going to see just standard bans out here. Kind of just the repeat of last game.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Nacho Supremos ban away the Odin from themselves. It's kind of interesting. Maybe they're looking for a hell.
Yeah, or maybe even trying to save that Scylla too, but AFK Farmers gets first pick here, and this first pick could tell where they want to go with their draft, as they also ban out the RDO too, afraid of what Y Guy can do with it.
I mean, hey, he looks pretty good on this Odin. Did have a couple mishaps on his Odin cage, but this is the SDL. You're gonna have mishaps. That they were able to communicate well enough that it worked out just fine.
Yeah, and I think Y Guy is just an extremely talented player and can practically pull his own way and do even more. It's just his team needs to be up there with him to be able to give him for him to give that extra boost to his team because he
Uh,
is a extremely talented player.
100%. And we did have a bit of a mishap. We did flip the picks and bans, or not the picks, in terms of the bans. So I
And
do like these bans coming out of AFK Farmers. I don't think the Osiris was that impactful that you need to ban it. I would rather see the ban on the Scylla.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure this RDO ban is more of like, yeah, we did our research. We saw what Nitro can do on this RDO. We don't like it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It looks like they're gonna go back to the Erlang. I don't like that. Don't first pick it. Now they don't have the Odin cage granted, but they the Cerberus is open, like I was about to say. So I like the hover from Cerberus. I like the hover from the Scylla. Just run it back. Now you don't have an Odin, but now you have a Cerb. So that you strip Erlang's health just by being near him.
Yeah, and Cerberus, even though he is supposed to be diving, most likely going to Y guy, even though he's supposed to be like diving and all, that's still a lot of setup for this Scylla just to do one I'm a monster onto like 2 to 3 people.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I expect Erlang to buy beads first, honestly, and probably beads for everybody on the AFK farmers to try not to get picked up. However, the Chiron pick could mitigate some of the things that Cerberus is able to do.
Yeah, especially with I believe the ability is called training exercise.
Uh,
Whatever the
Street Exercise
circle
2?
is. No,
No? Oh, well,
whichever the
I,
one is the circle ability.
the cleanse. Yeah, the cleanse. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
that
Ooh.
And we're going to see a Gilgamesh. Nacho Supremos is kind of just being like, big circles go brr right
Yeah, I
now.
mean, we saw AFKFarmers ban it away from him game one. There's more than likely a reason, like I mentioned before game one even started, that they banned the Gilgamesh. But they take away the Izanami. I mean, Gunny looked fine on the Izanami. I mean, he got the damage where he could. I mean, okay, I'm gonna stop talking. They ban Jormungandr. Keep Nitro on Jormungandr, guys. I mean, he misplayed a lot.
There is
He
no
thought he was too
reason.
safe. Yeah, don't ban the Yorm. Like, he's not that scary.
Yeah, there is no way in the world that that band should have came across. And I think the only other god that Nitro has in his god pool is King Arthur.
Ooh. You know, King Arthur isn't terrible right now. I mean, you are able to use King Arthur 3 in his red stance to mitigate Cerberus's knock up. So, I mean, and he's able to knock up Cerberus out of his breath. So, I kind of wouldn't mind a King Arthur in here.
Yeah, and we're going to see a Kukulin pick up here.
Cuckoo Khan. Kukulkan's the warrior
Oh
dom.
yeah.
Come on, you're a solo lane. Get out of the solo lane brain. I'm playing here. I mean, Kook
Yeah.
and Novel are like bread and butter in my mind. I think this is a great pick. Get him back on his comfort. He didn't look that comfortable in Nuwa.
Yeah, and also with the immense setup from this Athena too, just to get a 3 or 4 man taunt, because not a lot of people are going to beat the taunt. But there's a Cuckoo Khan
Mm-hmm.
with an ultimate ready for that taunt.
Oh yeah, I mean, forget the ult. You can just put down the tornado. I mean, it does have that little bit of delay, but a 2-second taunt, you're getting the tick at least once. That's a lot of damage just being able to beat. Oh goodness, words are hard, like you mentioned. Just to be able to
Yes.
consistently put out the damage off the taunts and the tornadoes and the Chiron 1 and into the 2, you can't miss it. As long as they play around Zaptar, if this is an Athena support, it could go into the solo lane. Ooh, big kappa.
Kuzenbo.
Kappa, kappa, kappa. Yes, sir. I love it. I don't know where it's gonna go though. I mean, it it works in the solo lane. It's a little bit harder to do.
Higher
Um,
execution.
yeah, it's a much higher execution god, but maybe he's confident in it. He's able to get Cerberus out of his breath as well. If Kuzenbo alt Cerberus alt, he should be perfectly fine. I mean, this could go either way, honestly. If it's an Athena, it can do the exact same thing.
Yeah. And also something to mention here is this Cupid pickup in Kepri.
Yeah, you're right. There are no execution on AFKFarmers, so a good Kepri alt could change the tide of the fight.
Yeah, and also Cupid being one of the best gods that End of Days has. He is so he plays this god so much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's
this
why
is the bread
you
and
mentioned it.
butter.
Yeah, you mentioned it last picks and bans, but they go for the Izanami ban instead of the Cupid. I wonder if they've seen End of Days on the Izanami and are kind of scared of it.
I kind of feel like I think he still would have gone Cupid even if they banned a different god besides Izanami and not the Cupid. I think if both of them were left up, I'm pretty sure End of Days would have gone to Cupid than Izanami. That that's my final statement.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't agree with or can't disagree with you on that, but I'm pretty sure End of Days played against Polar Bear Ash on the Izanami and dumpstered him. I mean, just the long and short of it. Izanami is a very easy god to play, and End of Days loves to split push, and that's the god to do it on.
I thought Apollo was the split push god.
I mean, that's a split push in team fights. End of Days does not care about team fights.
Yeah. I really want to see how well this. I want to know how well this Capri is going to do for this Volunteer team. I wonder if they're going to bait out maybe the Cupid and for like a Scylla, I'm a monster with the Capri reviving him.
So you would rather see the Scylla get revived instead of the
No,
Gilgamesh?
no, no. I want to see the Cupid try to pull a Zap Man and bait his life,
Oh, I see, I
and
see, I see.
then he gets revived.
Yeah, okay. So I personally would rather see the Gilgamesh. Winds of Shamash is very potent. So maybe you place down the Winds of Shamash that zones him away. You get the revive, and then you just drop kick somebody into the face, and we'll see where the Kuzenbo and the Athena lie as we're heading into the game.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting to see where it goes. And it's
Ooh,
going to be the Nitro Glycerin
okay.
with the Kappa.
Yeah, I think I like this better. Athena is a little bit better in the team fight 3v3 than a Kuzenbo. Kuzenbo's good, though, don't get me wrong, but I think the Athena's taunt's just a little bit more potent with the Kook Tornado.
Yeah, and I also want to touch up on Nitro's build. I know we've been touching up on it this whole entire time, but he went Warriors X. Here one magic defense.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a pestilence level 1, maybe. I don't know. I have no excuse for, or not. It's not really an excuse. It's an okay build. It's fine. But Kuzenbo struggles to clear the wave, while Cerberus is going to be really, really strong with the Vamp Shroud and the tier 1, either Voidstone or not Stone of Foul, Stone of Binding.
Yeah, and I believe that star gives you about 35 power, if I'm not mistaken. And Nitro has 0 power whatsoever.
Right.
All he
Yeah,
has
100%.
is triple bounces, and
I
you
mean,
can't really do that in
I
solo.
mean, you can throw a Cerberus through his own wave, get that little bit. Oh, excuse me, sorry, get that little bit of wave clear going, but that's only for so long until Cerberus gets his stun online, and for his 2 to start shredding you completely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this Warriors X is supposed to try to negate, but I feel like you still could have waited a little bit longer before picking it up. Maybe go into a fighter's mask.
Yeah, honestly, a mask would have been phenomenal, or even a Vamp Shroud. I mean, Kuzenbo has okay wave clear, but he needs the power, and that's just not there.
Yeah, he is missing all the power. He is right now currently at 0 power, and Guardians don't get any extra power off of anything else, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I thought there was a bit of a damage increase there, percentage wise. But hey, the more you know. I expect the Nacho Supremos to try to sit on this Kuzenbo, try to get him behind. I mean, he's a Kuzenbo. He can't do much.
I personally would like to see like a Zing Gen here, maybe, or just a
Oh,
different Guardian in
I bet
general.
you would. I bet you would. Um, I mean, yeah, Jing would be fine here. I mean, he's able to get Cerberus out of his. Ooh, goodness.
Ooh, and this, that was so close. Nitro, you can't just be doing that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and Cerberus was able to jump on him, so he was able to get that heal. And Nitro didn't go TP this game. He's playing it risky.
He went Bracer?
Yeah. I don't know why he went Bracer. He's a Kuzenbo. He's probably going to sit under the tower the entire game. No reason to pick up Bracer this early, at least. A Blink would have been nice.
Yeah, Blank would have been so much better, but then you would have needed Fighter's Mask.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, he's just trying to play it safe, and it's just not really working out for him. He's not really sitting under his tower. So I'd be interested to see how the rest of this game goes on, as we did see that Gilgamesh a second ago just punt the Erling into the wall, chunking him a fair amount, and Kuzenbo still hasn't backed yet.
I feel like you're getting a little bit risky, Nitro. You need to back. Just please do it. We
Yeah, I
all
mean,
want you.
I don't. I guess he's kind of worried about losing waves, and maybe that's why he picked up teleport that first game. If you're worried or uncomfortable in solo lane, it's fine to pick up teleport 100%, but don't get yourself killed over there. And I can't. I don't even know where Cerberus even went to. He just did not push that aggression.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. And not to harp on solo that much anymore, but I feel like this mid 3v3 is going to be kind of like something we didn't get to see out of last game. I feel like it's a good change.
Yeah, 100%. Newell had to sit under the tower, and every time she stepped out, she would just die. So I think this Kook should be able to facilitate a little bit better. Has that extra zone control with the tornado and the getting, getting a little feisty there from Scylla.
And he is just going to be backing up. And something also to mention about. But okay, I'm just hold off of that for a second, as they're going to try to get a kill onto Narcos right now, but he is going to barely escape. So what I was going to say is I'm going to mention the passive off of Cuckoo Khan.
Mhm.
It is the mana conversion over to the power.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is just going to be a Book of Thoth. I mean, this is the standard build for Kook. You know, you just tornado the wave, you walk away. It gives you so much extra mana, and that just adds to Kook's power. You don't really ever have to worry about building extra power into it because you get it off of Book of Thoth. But we did see an invade come from AFK Farmers. This is what they looked to do last game, but were incapable of doing so as Jormungandr was doing it by himself.
Yeah, I feel like this team is very much loves this high aggression. You just look at its whole entire team comp. Maybe not Nitro, but everyone else you can see kind of just wants to get into that early fights and just brawl it out. As you see over here on Nachos Supremos, they want a little bit time to get online and just take these long daunting fights, while AFK Farmers more get in there, you're dead, I win.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but Kuzenbo doesn't really do that very well. It looks like they're going to be very pig focused.
Yeah, and they're going to go straight onto this Kuzumbo with the torment going to be used, and he is going to use his ultimate to get out.
I mean, I think lurking in the waters is Sobek, but I mean, spin to win, baby. Hey, he got on out of there. I mean, that was a perfect use of the Kuzenbo ult. It looked like he had just enough mana to use it. Luckily for him, was able to get under that tower, and it was not a pestilence; it was a bulwark.
Yeah, and we are. And this bulwark is. I feel like he's just playing more safe than anything right now.
Mhm. Yeah, more than likely. I mean, he does get that extra shield whenever his health is under 40%, I do believe. But we do see Gauntlet of Thebes come out of both of the, or
Both of the
at 40%, sorry,
supports.
his 40% health. Yeah, I was reading. My bad. Yeah, out of both of the supports, how do you feel about Gauntlet of Thebes right now? Especially on an Athena.
I don't personally like it on Athena. I like a more aggressive option. Maybe go into like a sovereignty or even a Pridwin first item. I wouldn't be down. I wouldn't.
Ooh,
I would
Bridwin
be okay
first.
with that.
You're a wild guy. You're a wild guy. You know that. But I get the idea. You get that cooldowns going, and we see a blue buff invade going towards Nacho Supremos, and they are able to get it. This is what they need. Kuzubo has no extra mana out of his build so far. It's a little dangerous, however.
Yes, they're going to go straight onto him, and their line's going to do a straight taunt as the beads are going to be pulled, and the torment is going to be coming out. Spin the Wind is going to be able to get a bear pill on a monster going to be used, but does not connect at all.
I mean, 3 for 3 in terms of alts. I mean, that's fine, except for AFK farmers were unable to secure that blue buff. Watery Grave is the name. Yeah, I wanted to call it Lurk in the Waters. That's old Sobek's ultimate.
Well, okay, can we just call it Spin the Wind?
I'm always gonna call it Spin to Win. I mean,
That's
that's what he's doing, spinning to win. But something that did happen during that was that Gilgamesh did have to use his beads to get out of the Kuzenbo push. So you take your victories where you can. You lose a blue buff, you gain some beads off Gilgamesh. So
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of more of an even trade. They're trying to punish Nitro for being just this Kappa
yeah, I was gonna say
machine.
just beat Kuzenbo. I mean, that's what you have to
Yeah.
do. If you get Kuzenbo behind, he's still going to do Kuzenbo things, but without Blink, it's not going to be as effective. Kappa did get a buff recently in terms of his damage, but you're not really looking for Kuzenbo for damage.
Yeah, you're more looking for him to be a utility, and he's going to go into a second item Pridwin?
To each their own, I guess. I not what I would have done personally. He still has 0 power in this build. Maybe a Stone of Binding to get that mana up. I mean, he still has no mana. If they keep going on this blue, he's just going to have to keep backing. He's going to get farther and farther behind in farm. And this could turn out bad due to just build paths.
Yeah, as we see, 0-0 right now. We're seeing a lot of disparities in this mid lane and the support. There's just, even though it's not gold, it's just this XP is slowly getting out of hand. They're trying to turn it back, but it's just getting more and more out of hand each time.
Yeah, I mean, neither team has gotten the first blood off, so maybe they're looking for some more first blood gold.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep racking up as they're going to go straight onto this Athena. I'm a monster going to be used and barely misses. Kukulkan's going to use Barret of the 9 Winds and does. Sentinels is going to be what keeps everyone alive. And first blood 10 minutes into the game.
Wait, what? I didn't see anybody die.
10 minutes in the game. No first blood.
Oh, no first blood. I thought you said first blood 10 minutes in. I was like, what are you talking about, Dom? Did I miss
Yeah.
something? But no, okay, yeah, 100%. That Chiron did try to use his ultimate to pick up that Scylla after Khepri did all. That was a phenomenal ult from Khepri, giving that movement speed to get him out. Otherwise, Chiron would have killed her.
Yeah, and this is just like this either skill level or how they're just playing. They're probably both playing like kind of safe right now instead of like the early aggression out of AFKFarmers that resulted to them in a loss. But Nitro is going to be without mana again. Is going to be body blocked, but still does get out safely.
Yeah, the Cerberus nor the Gilgamesh had the ult to pull him back in or keep smacking him around and wins the Shamash. So Kuzumo should just be able to get out, maybe try to back. He is low on mana and health, or he could just play it risky like he has been.
He needs a breastplate.
Oh yeah, mana,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, or a Genji's. You know, Genji's also works. It does give you that cooldown. It also gives you that mana sustain and the defense from the Cerberus.
I say get yourself a Genji's, and then get yourself if they go. Oh, and that is first blood over onto Nitro.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that was surprising, but it really wasn't. Nitro stayed
Yeah.
around for too long again. I mean, he needs to back. He doesn't have TP. I mean, sometimes you just gotta back. Sometimes you gotta lose a tower or a wave to tower, and it's just gotta be what it is.
And he didn't lose. He didn't lose just tower. He lost first blood to his opponent,
Mm-hmm.
the person he's supposed to be fighting in lane. Which, besides fighting on lane, this Chiron's going to be Defender of Olympus, just coming out trying to do as much work. Chiron's just going to be straight there. And end of days, oh, Spirit of 9 Winds. It's just so good right now for the Solitaire team.
Yeah, novel on Kook, man. I was telling you before the game starts, this guy is phenomenal on Kook. And we just saw right there, he placed the tornado, he ulted, hit somebody with the ult, and the tornado, instantly dead.
Yeah, there's you got to shut down this Kook now. He's 2-0 after first blood.
Yeah, I mean, I say that's a phenomenal trade. You lose a Chiron, but you pick up a Cupid, a Gilgamesh, and a Scylla. Ooh, boy, that's a big turnaround, and I'm surprised it didn't go straight for the Gold Fury.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that I'm kind of surprised that that Narcos isn't turning his attention elsewhere, or where instead of trying to focus out Nitro right now, because he's been doing that a lot lately. And the one time he rotates, he's just a little bit behind, enough to where he just can't really do anything right now because he's been focusing so much on solo.
Right, and I still think that's still the correct response to try to focus out the solo lane, but he needs to do it a little bit more if he's just going to commit like he is. You lose a lot of farm if you just kind of hang out in the jungle, and I mean he's farming effectively, the best of his ability, he did die while the Erling did not, and is only a level down.
Yeah, and he's not going to be feeling it good for a while, as we're going to see Vibe get the heart bomb, and gets magically under his tower. Sorry, that is Gunny. I thought that was Vibe.
Vibe Legion, yeah, no, no, he's over there on the right hand side trying to defend that blue buff from the Cerberus.
All I see is a fast person dashing.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, and spin the win, baby, as they're going to go straight onto Y Guy, and that will be Y Guy's demise.
I mean, that was a great rotation in over from Vibe Legion. You know where the Cerberus is at. Uses his ult fairly early after the jump. So Kuzma was able just to use his ultimate, get him farther away from his exit point.
Yeah, and we're going to see Cat now going to set up for for Narcos here. Pings are now coming out and be like, help, help. And the appeal is so good right now.
Yeah, and we see an early obsidian shard from the Kook. Typically, you see that in a last slotted island, not island, last slot
Yeah,
for
yes, yes, because Sly is big enough for an island.
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, hey, there you go. But that's a lot of pin and power that this Kook is going to bring out. So I would probably try to chase around, honestly, Narcos. Try to get this Gilgamesh behind. The more he's behind, the less impactful he's going to be.
Actually, I'm gonna be completely honest. If we like take the scales of everything, an island probably could actually fit in an item slot.
What do you want about Dom? What are you even
I,
saying
I'm
to me?
s- I'm saying it might actually be possible because gods are supposed to be like how much bigger than actual humans?
Man,
The
I don't know.
minions are actual
Video game.
human size.
It's a video game, Dom. You're crazy. You're a wild
It's-
guy. You're a wild guy. All right. I mean, if we look over here at the player damage charts,
Cerberus.
yeah, the Cerberus and the Kuzumbo are, neck and neck in terms of player damage, but that's kind of what you expect out of solo lane. Just a lot of boxing. The one that catches my eye is this Kook being at 5k player damage already at only 16 minutes in. He hasn't died yet. I mean, he's just throwing down the tornado, hitting his ults, just playing phenomenally.
Yeah, and not to mention the best ultimate secure in the whole entire game of Smite is playing right now. That is Kook. He is with his passive, he just does so much damage, and you can practically get his passive through most of the meta items right now.
Yeah, I don't know if we're able to look at gold per minute here, but Kook is already a entire full item up on this Scylla. I mean, Scylla's not too far away, so she must have a lot of gold in hand. I mean, that gold's not doing you very much good if you're not using it.
Yeah, I know Zelda loves to take strategic backs and just to be very methodical about how he plays, as he doesn't really tend to back for extreme power spikes. He likes to back gets maybe one or two power spikes.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Ooh. Oh my goodness!
And the
What a combo!
spirit of the 9 wins.
That was phenomenal. But hopefully, Nitro isn't caught out for it. But they are able to group up as 5, and they might go to Fire Giant.
I mean, you could easily do fire,
I mean,
most
yeah,
likely here.
you just cleared wave and mid just by throwing down a tornado. I mean, whenever Scylla's going to leave because she's going to either have to clear the wave first or move and bring the wave with her.
Yeah. What was like the timer on the first time we saw Fire Giant last game?
Like 20 minutes, 19, 20 minutes. But they pull off of it. That's a lot of effort and a lot of health just gone. And it looks like Vibe Legion didn't get the memo.
The love fields went down there, and he just couldn't get out with his 3.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good Fields of Love by end of days. You catch Vibe Legion out. He was just wandering around on the other side after his team already backed off a Fire Giant. And the AFKFarmers had signs of life with great communication, and then that happens.
Yeah, and you really need to. Okay, As Nacho Supremos right now, I'm looking for my soul laner to go in and dive that Kukulkan.
You're Culkin, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There. I got it right the second time.
yeah.
And distributed torment, I believe, is going to be used, and they are going to pick up nitroglycerin again.
While Kook is just 2v1ing at mid and just doesn't care. He's just hanging out, you know. I mean, I don't know what exactly happened there. That should have been a full retreat. You lost tier 1 tower in mid while you failed going at a fire giant. I have to assume it was because of the Scylla being up. They were still worried about I'm a monster just stealing away all their effort. But you also have a Kook ult to secure. Ooh.
That was a very good. Yeah. If this goes to a game, if some reason this goes to a game 3,
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
which
it's going to take a lot of effort from AFK Farmers. It's going to take a lot of communication or good communication, which we have seen from them even in this game. So we need to see it more. Vibe, buddy, I don't know what you're going to plan on doing here except for run away.
yeah, vibe. You kind of can't be a solo agent 1v4ing right now.
Oh, yeah, that's 1v5 over there, buddy. I mean, you have, what, a Berserker shield? Like, that's cool and all, but that's not going to save you from a crush. That's not going to save you from an I'm a monster. Still, it might only have 2 items, but that's enough just to kill you.
Yeah, and we're seeing here Gunny just split pushing right now. Do you like this call?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to take your tier 2 tower no matter what you do. He was able to take the tier 1 tower and right. I would like to have seen him push maybe for that tier 2 in right as well if he had proper communication like, hey, they're all backing off. You might need to get out of there. Um, so I'm going to hope that's what happened.
Yeah, and this whole entire game kind of more have an even state here, and I I think that if they play their cards right, I see a world where AFK farmers are going to win this and take it to a game number 3.
Oh, 100%. You know, you get a great Athena taunt into a Kook alt or a Kook
They're
tornado.
the 9 wins.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean that's either your entire health bar or enough that you're gonna have to run away. So, like I've mentioned time and time again, communication is key. This is SDL. This is just week 2, granted. I do like this call from AFK Farmers actually.
Yeah, they do have the secure up and ready for it right now, as Cook now has his ultimate Spirit 9 wins going to be used to secure it, and didn't really need it, but hey, it's still good to secure it just in case.
Better safe than sorry on that one. I gotta agree with you on that. It did look like 5 used his ult. I'm gonna have to assume for sustain. I guess maybe. They don't have a lot of ward coverage. It looks like it is more towards the lower end of the map. So maybe he was like, "Hey, I don't know where they are, so I'm gonna alt try to get my health pool back up." And if that was the case, that's fine. But you got to be careful moving on because you don't have that extra health bar.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is just him pressing down Bracer that much, or if he's actually placing them, but he has 14 wards Nitro instead of
Uh,
his opponent having 3.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's the bracer. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen a lot of wards being bought by him as he has double chalices. So that bad boy's bracer. It's just bracer. I mean, it's cool and all, but you need actual wards, not just your bracer. Typically, you're going to use your bracer for defenses or objective calls or trying to siege down a phoenix.
Yeah, and right now all he's really doing is trying to get his ward count up. He's trying to match the PBM, the 100 what?
Uh, it was
120?
ridiculous. I know what you're talking about. It was just a ridiculous amount of wards, but bracer didn't exist. That was actual vision. If it's not actual vision, don't do it. You know, like I don't know. It's not that hard to buy a chalice of wards or whatever it's called. I mean, you get free wards every time you back. All you got to do is place 8 wards, and it's paid for itself.
Yeah, you really just got to just like think about different way of everything, and I feel like Nitro, his work, yes, he's trying to be more of a team player, but I feel like he's kind of let go from his identity from first game.
Yeah, I mean, just off of his pick alone, his identity has completely shifted from this Jormungandr that gets into the back line or is able to get out. Typically, as a Kuzenbo, you're going to look to re-engage off of their initiation, try to push whoever jumped on you, and put him in a wall. Try to get the kook to just blow him up. Jormungandr does not do that at all. He's, hey, I'm a big body. You got to look at me. So I don't. I actually like Nitro on this Kuzenbo because he hasn't died 5 times off of stupidity.
Yeah, I feel like they could have punished him more, but they just aren't playing for the solo lane carry for this game.
Mm.
They're more focused on trying to keep the Scylla fed, trying to keep end of days fed, look for their backliners to just keep going.
I mean, which is it's a solid strategy, but that did put him 3 levels behind. But like I mentioned ahead of time, he's a Kuzenbo. He's still going to do Kuzenbo things no matter what his level is.
And that is going to be the end of the Athena right there with using the Winds of Shamash.
Yeah, I don't know what the Athena was doing. The Kuzenbo probably could have done that by himself. He does have his ultimate. It looks like he might need to use it right about now. There he goes.
Yeah, and they're just going to go straight on to him as he's going to push the
Oh,
enemy straight towards him with a big circle.
I mean, that was a phenomenal jump to get him in front of that Kuzenbo. Just unlucky for the Kuzenbo that he was there and had to drag him along with him.
I can imagine Nitro's just how he was. He's probably thinking to himself, "Oh boy, here is the end of me."
Yeah, probably 100%. But we do see a shield of regrowth. Not shield of regrowth. I
Mail of
apologize. Veil of
renewal.
renewal come out. I guess he wants to be that big of a team player to try to heal his allies. He's a Kuzenbo. He's able to take a lot and is able to put out a fair amount of damage with his 2. We see Athena going to try to defend this tier 2 tower. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't agree with Nitro's, but I'm sorry, we're harping on you so much, Nitro. I love you to death. Just to tell everyone.
Yeah, I mean, no hard feelings here, but
Yeah.
I mean, correction is key. But I just realized that Nachos Supremos did a phenomenal fire giant defense. I mean, what they lost a tier 1 tower and left, and that was it. It was all that fire giant had. That AFKFarmers got. I'm pretty sure that Nachos Supremos got 2 kills after the fire giant. So, I mean, good for
I
you
completely
guys.
forgot they got Fire Giant. It
I
looks
did
like
too.
they were playing without it.
Exactly, 100%. They weren't really pushing their leads. They got the tier 1 tower. I mean, they got a tower. That's cool. But you lost 2 players. I mean, your gold lead is catching back up. I think they're only about 4K behind. I do like this Pyromancer call, but they need some more vision to be able to see where they're going.
Yeah, and like the great old saying goes, you only hit level 20 once, and right now we're getting to the point where we're starting to all hit level 20 here. Only a few people left, only 3 left, as the scores say.
Hey, there we go, Nitro. D Ward. Yes, sir. He got rid of his chalices. I have to assume he picked up some wards finally. That a boy, Nitro. That a boy.
We'd love to see this.
Yeah. Actually, this Scylla hasn't been very active as we saw in last game with only 3K damage. Novel's looking phenomenal on his kook.
I feel like it's kind of Novel is out rotating Zelda throughout this whole entire game. I think you might want to look towards banning it in a game 3 because it looks like they're having a strong chance if they just play off of their mid lane.
Dom, you keep mentioning game 3, buddy. We're still in game 2. This could go either way. Nachos
I
Supremos
know.
have the ward advantage. They have the communication advantage, and it looks like they're gonna try to push it.
Yeah, they're going to go straight in with so much dive coming out, and Cuckoo Khan's now finally here as they're going to try to just reinitiate here. Is Windsor Shamash going to be used, and this is so close to being killed, and he is going to barely get out. And this Nitro just getting heart bombed. There goes one of the tanks down. Spirit of Nine Winds going to come out and do so much damage onto Y Guy. This fight's not looking too great here. As End of Days gets a double kill onto the solo laner. Wait, did he get the support?
Honestly, that team fight was just so all over the place. I mean, Kuzenbo finally was able to stop the initiation. That was great. A phenomenal push on that Gilgamesh. As soon as he ulted, he got him out of there. So he was incapable of doing anything in the Winds of Shamash. He was able to use his ultimate to push his team back, or the other team back, but it didn't look like AFKFarmers were all on the same target, and that allowed their the Nachos Supremos just to pick him off one by one.
Yeah, not even though Nacho Supremos doesn't, it's like having all their kills on one person. That one person's still doing a lot of damage right now. He is 5-1, End of Days, putting in that work right now, being second on the top player damage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got your 2 on your Kuzenbo. Kuzenbo is super tanky. I mean, he's playing it right in terms of the tank aspect, but I need to see better target selection.
Yeah, you're going to need that target selection. Maybe go on to this. Maybe try to go and shut down the End of Days. They already did a good job on shutting down Zelda early. And this Fire Giant in the great zone off of Nitro. And a lot of fight going in the backline with Novel reigning supreme, but not yet, as Y Guy will take him down. Defender of Olympus going to be used, and they're going straight in as Zelda is going to be taking a lot of damage. I'm a Monster going to be used as the CC immunity, and he is so close to death that Zelda picks up the kill onto 5 Legion.
Oh my good gosh, this is not at all how I thought that initiation was going to go. That was a phenomenal initiate. Khepri did not unleash that Fire Giant. I thought this was going to be a quick Fire Giant steal, but the Gilgamesh was able to pick off that backline while the 2 frontliners were diving.
Yeah, you. I'm at a loss for words here.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I'm surprised they didn't go for the FG. It is enhanced. They are, was it, at that time they were 3-man up. They had their Cerberus still. It's just a Kuzenbo. I mean, like, just Cerbalt him. You can stop him, I promise you. He's not going to outsteal a Scylla.
Yeah, there's no way at all.
I don't know if we're able to go over here to the player healing, as the Kuzenbo was able to proc Mellow Renewal. I'm just curious about how impactful that item was. A nice 400 heal for his team. Not really what you're looking for out of an item specifically, but I'm going to maybe assume it's for that prot, but it does disperse after it is unleashed. And that's why you get that heal. Oh, maybe they 5-brained me and waited for the rest of their team to get up, and that's why they didn't push Fire Giant.
Yeah, most likely. But all the ultimates are up except out Zelda's being used as the secure for the whole entire game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's completely fine. You know, you have the Chronos Pendant, you have the Soul Gem, and the Spear. Like, you're fine. You're not really hurting. It's already at half for that Scylla. It's up so often, too often, in my opinion. That Scylla's ridiculous. But we see Cupid hovering over this Pyromancer while the 2 tanks try to beat it up, and it's not looking great.
The tornado does come out, but it's unleashed. Come on, Nitro. Someone has to leash it while that tornado is happening.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of unleashing it. Like, hey, I don't want to get Fields of Loved and then die and they get the Pyromancer, that would be a huge detriment. But we see the Scylla and the Khepri move potentially over here to Pyromancer while Gilgamesh takes Draugr.
Yeah, I kind of want to know how much difference there is in these ADC builds right now.
Well, you see the Ken size come out. Oh, actually, Gunny sold his starter. I just realized that for that Ken size, he has a beat stick, a little questionable, but he didn't go Silver Branch, so I mean he is able to apply beat stick decently. I maybe would have liked to see a Toxic Blade in that slot to always have it going.
Yeah, because Toxic Blade procs off of all your abilities and autos.
I don't know about abilities, but I know it does off of autos, and I mean with the rest of his build, he's looking for auto attacks.
Yeah, not looking to like that traditional ability, you just destroyer like
You
we're
know what?
used to seeing.
Right before these guys go in here to try to siege this tap. Oh my goodness! Just kidding. Zeptar's gone.
Yeah, that was just extreme blow up right there. As this whole entire battle going to be initiated, Nitro is just trying to peel off here, and the great revive off of the cat, but only onto himself.
I mean, that's not bad. Cerberus was able to, or during all of that, they were able to distract long enough to Cerberus to almost get the tier, or not the tier 2, the Phoenix and left.
Nice. Yeah, and this.
Oh,
Oh, he is looking.
3v1.
White guy's just looking so great right now.
Yeah. It did look like, oh, yeah, that was a good rotation
Yeah.
in there from Gunny. Only 3 people left with Fire Giant. That's successful defense coming from AFKFarmers. Yeah, Zeptar got decimated. Yeah, Y guy got 3v1'd. Or 1v3'd, I guess I should say. But you didn't lose any Phoenixes. So, I mean, it's completely fine. You don't have to worry about all those fire minions flooding in.
Yeah, and then just the one kind of sad thing is Nitro still doesn't have his upgraded starter yet. He's not even level 20 still. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would maybe even want to see a Hero's Axe come out from Nitro here, as the Nachos Supremos has a lot of CC, and that extra health or the shield that is based off of your protections, I do believe, in terms of Hero's
health,
Axe, would
right?
be phenomenal. I think Bulwark is health and Hero's Axe is protections. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just extra shield. It's extra health at the end of the day, and that's always useful.
Yeah, just get like a free Kepri on your team. Not
Geb.
Kepri, free Geb shield.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. Yeah,
Wrong,
free
wrong
Geb shield.
character.
Yeah, and you don't even have to be looking at him. You could be diving and it go to your backline, depending on how far away you are.
Yeah, and as we're going to see, they're wanting this left tower right now. Not tower, this left Phoenix here for the side of Nacho Supremos. But we've seen how good AFKFarmers can defend, and it wouldn't really surprise me too much if they can, which they very much are right now, pushing back this Scylla and Kepri.
Yeah, but they need to keep an eye on how far away they are pushing, as both tanks once again are pushing up together.
I don't know what it is. I guess they wouldn't appeal for each other, maybe?
I guess maybe they said forget the backline. It's all about us, baby.
Yes, the frontline show. I
Yeah.
love this. Instead of the backliners, it's now the frontliners.
But yeah, of course. I mean that's how they're playing. But I mean, nothing really hurt them for doing that this time. But they gotta be careful.
Yeah, and now EFG is now available here. Vibe Legion now over here, ready for the steal. Coming up close. They don't have any vision on it. Defender Lump is going to be used here, and Vibe's getting in, causing a ruckus. Spirit 9 Wind's not yet able to, and Zelda is now the first one to fall here. And they're going straight in, pushing back Nacho Supremos, going straight in, and Sir Gunny picks up the kill. Next up on the list is the Kepri, but the revive goes out onto the Cerberus. Not too much help for you anyways. And Narcos getting the kill onto Gunny. It's now a 3-4 for one trade as Narcos going forced to be back here. Maybe set up for a Phoenix defense. They don't really have too much burn potential onto this. It's about maybe vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it finally paid off for the AFK farmers, actually getting in there and doing what their draft is meant to do. And this should just be an easy Titan. They have a kook. I mean, Gilgamesh is trying his best, but you can't stop this kook.
Yeah, especially since he had Polly. That Polly was just doing so much damage, especially because of just auto canceling alone. Just feels so nice with Polly.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know if I doubt that the one procs his poly like as it hits you, but I mean that's just an extra auto attack right after it. So I mean, yeah, great tornadoes, great poly.
With the lifesteal and
Yeah,
adding more to the mana that he has.
yeah. I mean, AFK farmers or not the AFK farm, the Nacho Supremos needs to ban the kook away from Novel. He looks too good on it. Well, as we look over here at the damage charts here, we can see that Novel carries his team in terms of damage, having 33k versus this Scylla. Zelda looked great on it, but not so much in this game, only having 10k damage.
Yeah, I feel like Zelda needs to be more a part of these fights. He needs to bring back that game one mentality to be able to bring this one home, and I want to see them ban out this Kukulkan.
Yeah,
The
100%. That's their pretty much only option here. Vibe Legion, he's not looking too great on this Erlang. Kuzenbo didn't do much. Athena didn't do much, and neither did Gunny. It's really just the kook.
Yeah, he's just looking phenomenal, and not to like demeanor like any other player, but I mean his ultimates and his passive just does so much damage. Welcome back, and we're here with the game number 3, 1-1 for all the marbles.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think you were gonna say marbles. I don't know what I thought you were gonna say, but marbles was not gonna be it. But yeah, I mean, you kept alluding to this game number 3.
Yeah.
Maybe you had some sixth sense on that. But yeah, I mean,
These teams are just like very equivalent skill, in my opinion. I just think whenever one team does good, they find that strategy, they find their way to come back. That's what they've done in game 2 and 3. Well, game 1 and 2.
yeah, come on,
I don't know
Dom.
what they
Over here,
I
look,
don't
he's
know
trying
what
to
they
put the
did
sixth
here.
sense in again. Maybe he's
Yeah.
got some body senses going on here. But yeah, I mean, the Scylla didn't look that great for Nacho Supremos in game number 2. Maybe they don't look to ban it. Maybe I was wrong, and the Osiris was the problem. As after that ban went through, they won.
Yeah, get the jungler on. It's weird to say because we're not in a jungle meta. You got the jungler behind a little bit. You got him on something that he's not extremely comfortable on, and you
Mm,
kind of just won that game.
right, 100%. But I don't know if it was off the back of the jungler, more for the ability. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. More
Are you
for the
okay?
ability. Who knows? Off of Novel's back, and they don't look to ban out the kook again. I would probably have given up the Ardio versus the kook. You can beads Ardio. You ain't beads a kook. You cannot beads a kook.
You'll never defeat
And
me.
they're going to run it back with the Erlang first pick
Wisdom
here,
shall
with
be my shield.
Athena going to be the second pick of the whole entire draft.
I mean, that's smart. I think that's smart personally. Not for AFK, but the Nacho Supremos.
Yeah, Nachos Supremos very good for it. But I don't really think they're too worried about Zelda picking it up. I'm not sure if it's in his god pool or not. I'm pretty sure it's not.
I
But it
mean,
looks like they,
ma-
they are going to run back the same front line again.
No, actually, the AFK farmers had the Athena last game with that Kuzumbo, but now that Nacho Supremos have it, their front line's looking really, really good. As Y guy looked really good on the Cerberus.
And the soul going to be picked here. The real question here is: is Novel going to go back to this to the worm, or is he going to go to this to the fireball lady? I'm
I don't
forgetting
know.
names here.
I don't know. I mean, Pook's a little bit. I mean, he is safe, but with Athena just dashing at you and immediately taunting you, that's going to burn your beads a lot more than just having the Serb ult. So he might be looking for the soul to have a beads and the disapparate to kind of have an extra beads and Aegis. And don't pick this Jormungandr. I beg of you.
Oh,
Please, young Nitro. Do
and,
this to me, buddy.
and he did it.
Oh goodness. Well,
Um,
hey, maybe he thinks he's gonna beat the Serb in lane. It's not gonna happen, or it shouldn't happen, as Cerberus is a
no.
pretty decent counter to Yormungandr, or not really counter, but a decent he has a
Matchup.
decent fight back. Yeah, he's pretty good at it. That prot shred that he applies with his breath and that stun hurts Jormungandr a whole lot.
Oh, Belly, something to also mention of why he might not the go into the Cuckoo Con is that whenever he presses his movement speed,
Mhm.
whenever Athena taunts him, he'll continue that same movement speed towards her.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. But yeah, that Gilgamesh lock in should dissuade him from that kook. He needs to be able to have a leap or is hopefully on the soul. And they
And
did
the
ban out
Scylla.
that Scylla. Yeah, I get it now. I mean, Scylla and Athena is ridiculous. You can't miss crush at that point.
It's practically saying, yeah, I'm a hit crush every single time. And especially with the Cerberus too. You just have so much CC on that team. I want to see beads again. There's there's it's
Um,
needed.
uh-huh. Oh, well. I mean, this Jormungandr, I guess I get the idea. Cerberus cannot ult him into the tower, as we saw that Kuzumbo had a little bit of an issue buying that bracer. Jormungandr with bracer, however, is a lot better than just a Kuzumbo with bracer.
Yeah, and also mention in fact of like, uh, I feel like Nitro was like trying to find out which god wasn't played and try to play that game too.
I'll be honest with you, Dom. I didn't hear a single word you said, but yeah.
She's
Uh,
stunning.
Just side with
oh,
me. That's all.
yeah, man.
Oh,
Always got to trust in my man Dom.
yeah,
Oh,
and
that Chunga.
Greetings, friend.
I know this is one of this is one of Zelda's top picks right now with up with Scylla right now. He doesn't like Scylla too much, but he does
Can you
like a
keep up?
good
Yeah,
Chunga
'cause
game.
I-
And
Oh my goodness. Nacho Supremos drafts looks absolutely unstoppable. The Chunga's a little bit weird, but it gives a lot of healing to that team to whenever they're doing that Fire Giant dance or the Gold Fury dance, which we haven't seen that much in these past two games. They are able to sustain back up and then re-engage. I mean, AFK farmers have a little bit out of Chiron passive, but you don't get to pick who that goes to.
that's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do a coin flip between 5 people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it does go to the lowest member of the team, so it could be that Chiron. More than likely, Chiron's going to go into healing. Um, I need to see more out of Gunny. I know that they did just win last game, but I need to see more out of Chiron. Chiron hits for a lot of damage, and I'm just not seeing much of it.
Yeah, and also another thing to mention, this Danza now going to be picked up. The Tanuki himself. The only other person I've seen play him so far is Die Violently. I wonder how the end of days can pair up with him.
Well, I think it should work out really well. I mean, there's not a lot of CC on the side of AFK farmers, so he's not going to really be able to get caught out very well. Maybe by Jormungandr, but other than that, he's pretty safe. Yeah, Erlang can just walk out of the jungle, but Like you just hop in your rocket, you can probably run into Erlang and just blow him up.
Yeah, especially since you can just CC chain him with his 3, having that slow whenever someone's inside of it. So just rocket 3, 2, and then 1.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like we're gonna go straight into the game and see where this soul is gonna go.
And it looks like Novel is going to be picking up the
You know
the
what?
Chiron.
I don't mind this. The Mannequin Scepter on the soul, however, is a little strange. It looks like he's going to go more into an auto attack soul. You do see typically a vampiric shroud on the soul, and he goes more ability based.
I personally like, if you're going to go a mage ADC, if you get that vamp shroud, you kind of can't be boxed. But I want to throw my attention back over to Nitro and his build.
Did he do it again? Oh, he did it again.
He-
But he went back into the teleport. Interestingly enough, instead of that bracer, where he would have been able to potentially have killed the Serb off of it.
Yeah, and he knows from his last mistakes not to do that, and he's going straight in, bullying out Y guy right now, and a big chunk of his health being taken out right there from the stun.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have Vamp Shroud. He has no health pots, so Jormungandr's going to have to play it a little safe. Serb can jump on minions to heal. Jormungandr has nothing.
Yeah, Jormungandr going to be very squishy at these early stages with only just that attack, the breaths just being damage increase. That's all he really has right now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we do see a little bit of a back and forth. It looks like the Soul was able to gain pressure, more than likely off of the two, being able to hit minions twice and him having Mannequin Scepter.
Yeah, just as Zapray is such a good ability. It sets up for your ultimate. It can be the chance of you leaving. But but this dual lane is just going to be kind of just hard to see who wins in the end game, because both of them are not your traditional picks right now.
Mhm. Yeah, we haven't seen a Danzaburo in a while, and interestingly enough, the Jormungandr started to walk out, got back to his Phoenix, and realized he was going to lose some minion wave pressure because he didn't teleport, but he did wind up using it later on. I'm interested to see why he didn't just immediately teleport. Maybe he forgot, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
the taunt's going to be good, but there is no follow up right now from this Danza, as he is low health. He is low mana right now, and that's kind of needed if you're Danza.
yeah, I mean, I expect both of these players just to play a little bit more passively. Hopefully, Gunny gets aggressive later on as before he hits level 5. I want to see him get in there. Um, as we haven't seen a lot of uh, damage or really anything out of this duo lane in these past couple games.
Yeah, is it okay if we talk about the mid builds for a few seconds?
Oh, I mean, always, Dom, always. I mean, it looks like this Chiron's going to go into that power build as expected. You haven't seen Chiron mid in a while since I don't even know if he got nerfed. I know Bluestone got nerfed, and then he's kind of disappeared. I mean, it is
It was
still a
more
very good
Bluestone
item.
than anything.
I mean, it's still a solid item to have, and he's able to clear the wave equally as fast as Chang'e as she is able to heal the minions.
Yeah, and also not to mention, Bluestone is supposed to be getting a buff. It's supposed to be getting a revert back onto its power on
Absolutely ridiculous.
Tuesday.
Absolutely ridiculous. No reason for that. I don't know what they're thinking is ridiculous. They're
They
ridiculous.
they just want warriors back in the solo lane. They're tired of guardians in the solo.
I mean, yeah, but like that's not the way to do it. Bunch of psychopaths.
Yeah, but the thing I really want to talk about is this Chang'e build. Going into this conduit gem, and then what do you think this item's going to be?
Um, that's a hard question to ask me there, Dom. As he could go into a bunch of things. You know, you could go into a Divine Ruin for this Erling Shin. You could go into a Spirit of Desolation to get that cooldown, that big power spike. And it's got a nice passive if you're able to get the kills. And the Spear Magus, as it gives you some life steal. You don't really see a lot of life steal come from Chang'e. but it's an option.
Yeah, I'm not really sure because I don't really see too many Chungas at all. Rarely. The only
Yeah.
time I see it is whenever I see a troll and Rink absolutely dominate me and make me lose MMR.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it looks like there's going to be a gank over there in solo lane, and this is something we haven't really. No shot.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead,
no!
bro. Come on,
Oh,
come on, come on,
th-
Nitro.
you could have just ulted him. And wait, was that a solo or
It looked like
also
Athena
one
was
v two?
over there. Yeah, Athena didn't even have to use ult. So Danzaburo did, however, while the Soul did remain with the ult. So maybe got caught off guard by the amount of damage.
Nitro, get out! It's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore in the Soul lane. I gotta be honest with you.
You want to just ignore it?
I mean, honestly, maybe. No, I'm kidding. Both of these players are
Yeah.
great. I mean, it's just some misplays here and there. But yeah, it was not a solo kill over there in the duo lane, but I mentioned not seeing a lot of aggression. Getting a soul behind is going to be huge. A soul from behind doesn't even feel it feels terrible as a soul. It feels phenomenal if you're the other frontliners because soul isn't able to build percentage health per autos like we see a traditional carry to be able to build.
Yeah, and also something else to mention is those two gods have probably one of the worst positioning in a team fight ever. Because they had to be where they want to be instead of where your team wants you to be.
With the Dan or
If
the soul.
both of them.
Oh, well, I see soul run around a little bit more as you don't have to stand in that one to get the heal. You just throw it down and run away.
Yeah.
Um, But it does build up that passive though while you're inside of it to be able to get your auto attacks out more. So I see what you're saying here. But we do while we're looking at builds here, it looks like that Erling Shane's going to go back into the same build that he's has before, and that the Gilgamesh is going to go into a Jotun's Wrath and potentially a Blackthorn Hammer? Question mark.
I would like to see a Frostbound there, even though it's been nerfed. I think it's still kind of good for just like how he is, especially since he has that slaw on his one, and it does stack with this one with diminishing returns on it.
Mhm. Yeah, and that was a Spear of Desolation from that Chang'e.
And my question gets answered.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple minutes later. But yeah, I mean, I get the idea. I mean, it's a great item. It's a lot of power. It gives you cooldown. It's just a solid item all the way around. There's no real negatives to it. But we do see a bulwark of hope once again come out of the soul lane. I know it's a fun item. It's a great item. It gives you a lot of defense being at 80, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe not this early. I like to see it be able to stack more. It looks like Erlang's hovering around soul lane again.
Yeah, they're just wanting to put white guy behind, and maybe Nitro goes in, and he could have gone in and maybe got the
Yeah.
kill.
I personally would have gone in, but I am a psychopath and I die a lot for diving towers. I would have went in. Gilgamesh can't really stop you. He can win a Shamash you. That's cool. Maybe his jump was down and we were unable to catch it, or was up. Sorry, but that blink was used, so Gilgamesh does or no longer has blink.
And that speaking of that Gilgamesh, he is going to go into what I believe here is a Black Thorn Hammer, and
Mhm.
with its recent buffs, I think it's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, tier two Shillelagh. I mean, I mean, just that item alone, we did see some of it getting picked up into solo lane whenever that fighter's mask got nerfed, but then people just went back to fighter's mask because it just gives you so much more power. But yeah, it could be a sledge. I mean, we do see some the early grouping in mid. I mean, it would be able to get the protections off of it if he's looking to be more of just a third tank.
Yeah, he kind of seems like he wants to be up there with the Cerberus, just not just kind of just stalling out and letting his backline do everything. And it does seem like they do want to play through either Zelda or Days with how that build's setting out. But where do you think they're going to start playing off of here for AFK Farmers?
It looks like they're going to try to help out this Jormungandr. We have seen Nitro struggle uh, all all two sets with Y guy, so it looks like they're trying to help him out a little bit more, try to get some invades off, um, just actually gank solo lane, something that we don't really see AFK farmers do. I don't know if that's exactly the best idea. Maybe they're just trying to get Novel to have pretty much solo farm, just try to leave him alone on that island. But uh, that could make them pay, as Gunny has died already.
Oh, and a great two-man taunt there on the bare edges, but Winslow Shamash coming in and is going to be used as a great tactic to just end that fight right then and there with no kills or deaths.
Yeah, I mean, Chunga still has ult. I'm surprised didn't turn around to use it. And it looks like Gunny's gonna start boxing out ends.
The and Defender Olympus going to be used trying to go in, and Gunny will be dropped.
Yeah, I mean, a phenomenal benefit of. Sorry, my
Oh,
bad. Didn't even realize
um,
what was going on over there in the jungle. Narco's getting caught out by 3 different people. Don't know where he was going. Maybe to try to get Gunny, but Athena was already over there. But like I was talking about, Athena being able to rotate literally from anywhere over to help out in the days pick up that kill.
yeah, and they're going to look to be starting up this Gold Fury
Yeah, I like this
now.
call. I mean, your mid laner is an ADC, so you might have lost your actual ADC, but it's still fun. You still have an Erlang. He's got a lot of auto attack damage, and you still have Chiron. So it's just like an ADC jungle did it with the support.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just wanting to try to come back into the game. Well, Nachos Supremos is no, wait, sorry. They're going to look to be pushing a lead instead. Sorry, I thought that 3 was a 2 for a second for
Hey,
AFK
well, there's a
Farmers.
gank going over there on in solo lane. I wonder if there it goes. I was about to say no shot. Just run away, dude. You have like 100. Just get out of there. But yeah, I was gonna mention I was wondering to see if he was gonna be able to get off that ultimate in time, and he was just barely. And it looks like Cerberus did use alt, and that was it. You know, the Gilgamesh didn't use alt. He didn't use blink. Um, but Yorm has TP, so he didn't get the kill. It's probably a net loss because Cerberus could lose tower.
Yeah, and it kind of I feel like they had a really nice chance here to kill, but hold on that a second as Gunny's going to have to use his Evaporate to barely get out. Defender Olympus going to be used, diving the tier 1 tower. Once again, the rocket coming straight in. Supernova trying to peel. And Gunny with the juke shoes. but not for the whole entire fight.
Yeah, I mean, poor Gunny. I mean, Athena goes right back pretty much off of cooldown. Was almost able to pick up the Athena and the Danzaburo, but was not able to finish it off.
Yeah, we're going to see here as they're going to try to aggress here. Chiron has arrived and going to go straight into the ultimate and only use it to clear away. But here comes the jungle with a great 2-man stun.
Yeah, I mean, Chunga did come in a little late. We did see Chiron coming in with the dash. But like you mentioned, a phenomenal ult was able to push them all back and made the Khepri use his ultimate.
Yeah, we're going to see here end of days now going into most likely rage now. And I don't know if AFK Farmers has noticed this or not.
I don't know if they care, honestly, especially in terms of Nitro, as he goes right back into more than likely an ethereal staff.
Yeah, if he gets the slowing one, he's kind of trying, but instead he's going to use Y guy's going to use the ultimate, getting that passive out, and he barely uses the World Serpent.
Yeah, Nitro finally uses all 3 to finally disengage instead of using that single one to re-engage and then get out. Was able to cover a lot more ground, but this dude still doesn't care. He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have anything in his chalice. this is going to be dangerous for him.
Yeah, and I think if his team was a little bit closer, they could punish him for this. But he gets to live another day right now, as they try to get back some of the farm for White Guy and get this blue buff.
Yeah, Jormungandr is 2 levels up. I gotta probably say that's just off of TP alone. It did look like Nachos Supremos was able to pick up that blue buff in terms of the invade.
Yeah, and they are going to be looking more towards this mid right now. Probably going to look over to gank this dual lane as they are boxing out right,
There's
just
Athena.
just duking it out. And
Oh,
there it.
oh gosh, yeah. This is so rough for Gunny. Gunny cannot do anything. He's on his tower line. He's been in his tower, but just gank after gank after gank off of these phenomenal Athena ults. This is 5 head play, knowing that your team's either in mid or in left or in right, and there's nobody to help out the soul.
Yeah, they're 100% looking off to playing off of this off of days. He is now 3-0-1. He is 3/4 of the team's kills, and he's been a part of all of the team's kills.
Right, yeah, 100%. It's been the Athena and Denzaburo show. I mean, we've seen a couple invades come off. Looked like Nitro might have lagged there for a second, not hitting any minions, so it was stripped away from him. But he did take that tier 1 tower over here and right.
And also something to mention is that even though Gunny is down 4 deaths, he's only down a level and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's probably from the Athena being over here so often.
And Nitro gets a perfect steal on the blue buff, and he is going to be forced to be backed off here as the tier 1 tower for AFKFarmers on the dual lane side is now gone. And they're going to look towards getting end of days now, as on the complete other side, the complete reverse is happening. Supernova going to be used, and Defender Olympus coming in just as appeal, and there we go, the end of days.
Yep, it was the end of them for sure. I mean, that was a great body block from Vibe Legion to immediately stop the rocket. Like, yeah, cool, you got in it, but you weren't going anywhere in it.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing about Danza, and what everyone says about him is that whenever he's trying to leave, he has to either use his 3 or his 2 to leave, or shotgun his 1. But Nachos Supremos do get the Gold Fury off of
Yeah,
that.
they stole that away. That was a phenomenal ult by Zelda. I mean, just it looked like they got caught a little bit off guard. Gunny did not have his ult, and it looks like Novel didn't either. So there was no secure on the side of AFKFarmers.
Yeah, it does feel really bad whenever you can't secure your own objective that you worked kind of hard for. And I
What?
think
Uh-huh.
it's not going to sit well with them, but
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Something not sitting very well with me is I know I'm sorry, Nitro guy, but what's going on with you? You have a mid guardian male, and you should know that Danzaburow's building crit.
I would have loved to see a Spectral there. Uh,
I
I, I,
just love
pers-
to see anything else.
I
Give me a wizard.
personally think that he's just at this point, he thinks he's unkillable. That's what I think is happening through that head.
It could 100% be, but he hasn't met the Danzaburo that does not have a lot of crit online, but once he does, this Jormungandr is gonna be in trouble.
And something also to mention here is this. Okay, never mind. As Nitro just wants to completely engage, and this Kepri is trying to disengage here.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, interesting to see why guy not rotate over into the mid lane. But I mean, he's just getting his farm back. He is 2 levels down. You know, he's doing what he can. Jormungandr's not really doing much over here besides just being annoying.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do as Jormungandr?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of displacement, a lot of confusion, but not really getting a lot out of it as his opposition is just getting farmed back up. And oof, great Danziger ult.
Yeah, the World Serpent going to be used to chase out these kills now, going straight in for Zelda. And he cut Zelda straight off, and that will be the end of him. And they're going straight in for even more kills.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Jormungandr just being annoying. They didn't collapse in on him at all. They were just like, yeah, I guess he's here, and that really bit him in the butt.
Yeah, something also to mention about Zelda's build right now is the Staff of Mirrodin.
Yeah, I mean, it,
I,
it was changed recently, and you have 70% uncapped cooldown reduction on your abilities. Whoo, boy, that's a lot of cooldown on a Chang'e.
yeah, especially since her abilities are so low anyways. And AFK farmers do secure their Fire Giant as Nachos Supremos try to come in. And Y Guy just going to be evaporated right now with that supernova. The Capri ultimate will be good onto Nitro, but he is a speedy boy in that.
Oh yeah, I mean Capriol. I mean, a lot of people don't even realize that it gives that movement speed, but that boy was zooming. But yeah, I
Think of
mean,
Sonic, but faster.
faster than Sonic. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm glad to see that the AFK farmers were able to pick up this fire giant. It looked like Chunga might have been zoned out. I didn't really see her too much on the map, so it didn't get stolen away. That's the important thing. As we saw that gold fury get stolen away, and AFK farmers didn't use one of their ults to try to secure it.
Yeah, and here's what I think for each team to win. For AFK farmers, I think for these objectives, I think you love for Nitro to be going in because that just brings natural zoning off.
Mhm.
For like the whole entire team, everyone will be working on him and trying to kill him. But if you're on the side of Nacho Supremos, you want Y Guy to get in there. You want your ADC to get in there because that's what he loves to do. And speaking of Nitro just wanting a box, he is at that blue buff ready to box. And he is doing that right now.
Yeah, 100%. And it looked like I can't even tell who got that blue buff. I'm gonna have to assume it was Nitro. Oh, sorry, it was the Cerberus that picked it up. But Nitro doesn't even care about Cerb anymore, which I agree with. He's looking at this Gilgamesh.
Yeah, and the Gilgamesh he shall have as he's going straight in, not even caring about this mid fight going on right now.
Oh, he's
He's-
diving Phoenix.
okay, he's at least ulting out now.
I
He
mean, that's kind of good. The Athena did have to use ult to try to push him over there. So they're down in Athena ult. They're up. It's a 4v5. It should just be an easy tier 2 tower.
Yeah, especially since there's now 3 ultimates down on the sides of Nacho Supremos. And you only expended 1 for AFK farmers, and he did
Make that
great
4.
zoning.
Yeah, that
Oh,
Cerberus ulting, but only catching the Cerb and pulling beads.
yeah, and
Ooh.
there goes Nitro as the ultimate will be used on the vibe. And he is close to death. And oh, that is so close. The taunt did come out, but it's no good. They're AFK farmers on the retreat, but Nacho Supremos wanting the kills, wanting the blood of their enemies.
Yeah, 100%. Erling does still have ult, but it doesn't matter if you get Chung ult.
Zelda is just blowing up right now, starting to have a game of his life with great utility with that ultimate. And the fight hasn't ended yet. We're seeing a fight at the tier 1 tower 23 minutes into the game, and they're going to finally pick up this tier 1 tower in mid.
This is, oh, goodness.
And we're apparently
Close.
not done here as they're going in for a tier 2 engage, and that is a D-side for Nachos Supremos.
This all happened with AFK farmers having Fire Giant. Um, I have to assume that this was just pure aggression off of, I don't even know, Nitro maybe? He got in, he got blown up super quickly. And it looks like
Yeah,
it's about to happen again.
yeah, but he does have the World Serpent to be able to get out.
Dude, this dude does not care about defense. He's got a Spear of the Magus. right now. This man has no fear in his heart.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, defense say what?
Yeah, what's that? It looks like End of Days was able to stack his rage completely off of those that fight, and
Novel.
yeah, Novel's going into crit as well, but only has 2 stacks.
Yeah, that's the perk about being an ADC and playing Danza. You want to be in those fights, and looks like Gilgamesh does not want to be a part of those fights. And the Athena is going to do a great taunt for just the peel.
Yeah, I mean that was a great peel taunt. That was a great jump from that Gilgamesh. More than likely, that timer being right on the money when he needed it.
Yeah,
Well, well done.
sadly that wasn't a kill.
Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out here while looks like Nachos Supremos picks up the Draugr. We see a spectral armor out of the Gilgamesh, but no one else out of the entire game. While two ADCs or one ADC from both teams, I apologize. One ADC,
The
ADC,
hunters.
yeah, one of the hunters from both teams have crit, but only the jungler from Nachos Supremos got spectral.
I mean, the last time they had to face a Danza, well, actually, the last time they faced someone with crit, they didn't buy any spectrals until late game. And the AFKFarmers do end up picking up this Fire Giant as they're going to be pushing once more again. Nitro on the back line being just shred apart, taking even more damage with the empowered passive. And he is just looking just a straight run right now.
I mean, hey, he finally got in. He zoned off. It looked like the Chungashi did have the best steal ability. So I mean, he did his job as the soul laner, zone off the problem, and he was able to get out. This is a huge boon, and I want to see the AFKFarmers back, buy up some items, finish off your build, and then push down left tier 2. Just push it, just shove your face into it. Try to get tier 2. If it doesn't work out, I guess just strip farm.
Yeah, and look at Nitro here. And I'm pretty sure Nitro doesn't have a mystical mail. And look at his player damage compared to the Serb who does have mystical mail.
Yeah, I mean, Mystical Mail doesn't really do that much damage there, Dom. It does in lane, but they're not in lane anymore. It's just Yorm being Yorm. I mean, granted, he does have 2 power items, so that does kind of skew the damage charts.
Yeah, but like he's just doing a great job zoning right now, and that's where a lot of the solo damage comes from after the laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, typically that's what you want to see. So interestingly enough, the Nacho Supremos were not ready for this tower defense.
Yeah, and Y guy is going to go straight in and use the torment to just try to pull in stuff, and Nitro going to be having to use the World Serpent, wanting Zelda here, but cannot get it. The raccoon is going to go straight into that rocket, and he is forced to just be back, and that is 2 kills for Nacho Supremos. Almost a successful fire defense here, as Nitro now taking out his Steph, they can see him perfectly. And there he goes.
Oh yeah, a perfect fire or not fire giant. Oh yeah, fire giant and Phoenix Siege uh
Defended.
defense. Yeah, from the Nacho Supremos. And for me, it's because Gunny wasn't even anywhere in that Phoenix. Dude, you're also an ADC. You've gone some attack speed items. Help burn the Phoenix. That's what you were there for. You grouped up. You were ready. Jormungandr tanked about, I don't know, 8 shots, and no one was even in Phoenix yet.
Yeah,
The
and
serve
then
ulted you in the Phoenix. Just keep going at that point.
there was like almost there's like almost a little to none excuse for that Phoenix not to be down. As you could see, it's not even a sliver down.
No, that thing is pretty. It might as well be full health. I don't know what happened there. It had to be a pure miscommunication, and it looks like Novel is going to go deeper into that crit tree. You guys only have 5 kills. I don't know how you're going to plan on stacking that crit you haven't been able to show that you can get the kills or the assists to at least stack the rage. So maybe that's why he wants to go into crit, as he's not getting the crit chance that he would have liked to see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point, I kind of think instead of rage, you can go into malice. Well, on the side of Nachos Supremos, they got a wing demon.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a lot of power. It gives Pin in the passive. I mean Jormungandr, he might as well just be a sitting duck for this Danzaburo auto attacks.
Yeah, especially with the pen, just the passive is just so good, even after it's been nerfed several times. And Nitro just sitting in that back line, just causing so much commotion right now.
Yeah, but Gunny's over there on the right hand side. The Gilgamesh should have went in. It looks like they're going to try to back and defend tier 2 tower? Question mark. I don't think it's that important. They should have been able to push that their agenda and to try to take a fight over here on the Gold Fury, while
Yeah,
Gilgamesh just has to run away.
yeah, Gilgamesh is not going to be able to run away and just taking so much damage and being practically this is almost a 5-man zone at this point for they're just being zoned off so much by this Jormungandr, and they just get a free gold
Nope.
fury off of it.
Oh wait, no, the Pyromancer. I apologize. I was
Yeah,
like, "Nope, they stole it, but no, the Danzaburo backed. Right tower was already gone, but he took the Pyromancer. I mean, that's a good idea. There's no shot that he's going to try to do this fire giant by himself. I lied, maybe. I hope not. Okay, good. Yeah, he didn't.
yeah.
So
Please don't do that,
yeah,
Dave.
would be
I,
very wise
he,
there.
you're not tanky at all. Look at your build. You have 3 crit items. Yeah, that's not tankiness.
Yeah, but I would like to see him try to pull it. I don't know why they're waiting around as long as they are. They're allowing the other team to get back. This Capri's not stealing this fire giant, and if he does, he deserved it. Okay, that Capri deserved a fire giant if he stole it.
Yes, I mean we have seen a Gilgamesh, not a Gilgamesh, a Ganesha steal a fire giant before.
That's true, but Ganesh is a little bit different with his Dharmic pillars and an Emperor's armor coming out from the Athena. That's very questionable. Um, looks like that the some pretty good zoning though from the Jormungandr.
Yeah, and Jormungandr is just trying to protect his jungler right now. Vibe is taking so much damage, and Vibe will not be vibing anymore as Nitro's now getting obliterated.
Yep. Um, yeah. Still, he has no spectral, so I mean, I don't know what he's planning on doing there.
And there's the end of Gunny right there.
Oh yeah, and this they could push for end. There's no towers up. You got a Capri. Um, I don't know what happened. They were on Fire Giant. They were zoning really well with the Erlang and the Jormungandr, but as we've seen in the past, AFKFarmers jump off of the objective while their jungler and their soul inner are doing a good job of zoning.
Yeah, and they're going to start going right in for this Titan fight. This Y guy is going to be extremely low. That passive's going to be healing him a lot right now. And there goes Narcos, but that is not enough as game 3 goes to Nachos Supremos, with Nachos Supremos being your winners of this set.
Yeah, I mean they deserved it. They played a team oriented game. They did get picked out a couple times, but they were able to regroup as a whole and just play their own game. They weren't worried about what was going on. They just had less misplays at the end of the day.
Yeah, usually the team with less misplays does end up winning, but sometimes you play a god that is super safe that even if you mess up, you kind of just don't get punished for it. That's kind of reason why King Arthur was so good for so long till they nerfed him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean 100%. They did play some safe picks and they were able to execute on them fairly well.
And we're seeing that Zelda, Zelda had a great game for being on Chang'e.
Oh yeah, I mean this is a pick that you never really see. Did have 4K player healing and 13K damage.
Yeah, he healed the whole entire other team, and for a Chang'e to have 14k player damage is kind of to me it's kind of just like you accomplish something because I just don't know how it's done.
But Chungo is pretty high damaging. But the person to talk about in terms of damage is End of Days having 32k player damage because nobody built Spectral, and that's just the fact of it. Crit hurts. It hurts with Spectral. Just buy Spectral though. It hurts less. I promise. I swear to you.
Yeah, that was just the main problem. You see Spectrals by the end of the game for Nachos Supremos, yet AFK Farmers, you see on this Jormungandr that got continuously killed at the end game, just not have it. Instead, he goes into 2 just damage items.
Yeah, I mean, defense is good. I mean, he did have 55k player not, damage mitigated. Sorry, my goodness, today has been a rough
Player-
day. I mean, he did. He had the most mitigation out of everybody, but he could have had more.
I would like to see that number higher next time, but that is going to be the end of the set. And
Yeah, there is no player interview, and I look forward to seeing you guys for week number 3 of the Reap